more interesting ones.
Sure.
So we were going to go ahead and professionalism.
Yeah. All right. So here's the round 2 pairings. We've got Team Wales Storm versus Team Finland Blue. I don't know. These are not organized by whether they won or lost, or are they? Maybe they are.
So if you click, it will.
Yeah.
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 I don't know.
Yeah. Team Denmark White versus Germany. Dieter and Denker. Team Poland versus Team Scotland Brew. The other Germany team, Beer and Bretzel versus Platypus. So I do think that this is the top group is the undefeateds. After
It should
this
be.
one. Team France Obelisk versus Team Netherlands Lions. Team Scotland Ern versus Team Italy Michelangelo. USA Stripes versus Denmark Red. USA Stars versus Sweden Dynamite. That is the all Cricks Swedish team.
Correct.
Sweden Nobel versus Canada Moose. Belgium Blonde versus the England Lions, which is the game that the match we'll be bringing to you guys here. And then Canada Goose versus Finland White. France Asterix versus Australia Wombat. And then England Roses versus Netherlands Hero. I believe that may be the cutoff for
Undefeated.
Yeah.
So we got a couple of interesting matchups here, just in general. I mean, we're not going to see them, but it'll be interesting to follow the developments as the live results are posted to the WTC website. So the U.S. team, USA Stars versus
Sweden Dynamite.
Sweden Dynamite. So the Sweden Dynamite was that was one of the teams that had a bit of a buzz surrounding it because they decided to go with an all Cricks format. 5 Cricks players.
Yeah.
So that'll be very interesting to see how they match up against sort of the USA Stars are the reigning champions from last year. So it's going to be interesting to see how they take on that unique challenge, I would say.
Indeed.
Do we have any other
standout matchups here?
Australia Platypus versus Germany. That's going to be another.
Should be another matchup of actual like Titans, as opposed to
it's going to be
my
close
Belgian
games,
Titans.
Is my guess.
But Platypus is the one that you guys just watched on the last stream here.
Correct.
So yeah, for round 1.
So let's talk a bit about the matchup that we're going to be featuring for round 2.
Sure. So I'll go ahead and go over to the teams here. So we'll take a look at Belgium Blonde to start off with. We have Klaas. I'm not going to try on the last names. I apologize, but I will at least get the first names correct. So Klaas is a Crix player with Denegra and Scar, both prime versions. Dirk is bringing Kador with Butcher 2, Butcher 3. Similar combination to what we saw out of, or was that yesterday? The Butcher 2, Butcher 3 play, I guess. That was yesterday's. That was yesterday's grudge match, but similar combination of casters. We have Wout with Haley 2, Haley 3. So that's quite interesting. Haley potentially the ability to see Haley 3 here on the stream. We have Tommy with Bradigus and Morvana 2. Seems to be a very popular
Power
circle pair. And then Lawrence is playing Retribution with Raven and Virus 2. I'm going to guess Griffin Spam. I can pull that up real quick and see, I think. Virus 2. It is Griffin Spam with Imperatus as well. Yeah. All right. And then
that's most likely, that's for matchups.
For matchups, right. Absolutely. Yep. And then our other team here is England Lions, and I believe this is the team that has Jamie P on it. Is this the English team with Jamie?
Yes,
Jamie Perkins. So
this is going to be. I think it's the England heavy hitters. So it's going to Jamie P, Brett, Wilkie. Let's find out if we're right.
If we're right, yeah. England Lions. Yep. Brett Wilkie, Jamie Perkins, Dan Cunningham, Michael Dick, and Paul North. So Brett has brought Chromac 2 and Morvana. Paul has brought Gaspy 2 and Denegra 2. Michael has brought Trolls, Calandra, and Doomshaper, probably the theme Runes of War and Elemental Evolution.
Absolutely.
Dan has brought Minoth with Harbinger and High Reclaimer. I think pretty solid standard pairing these days for Minoth. And then Jamie has brought Kador, back to Kador, with Butcher 3 and Sorsha 2.
All right, so I think that the teams are ready to do their matchup selection, so we're going to go ahead and switch over to that.
All right, so we're waiting, I think, for the dice roll here.
Yep, I don't know if the dice have been rolled. I don't think so.
Very quickly, we could just touch and let you know that the scenario here is Recon for this round. Recon is scenario 8 in the packet. It has the central zone with 2 flags off to either side. The zones have an objective, a friendly objective on each side. So we will let you know when once we have the pairings down what the objectives are in any given matchup that we're watching. Belgium has won the roll, so they will put a player forward first, correct? Thus allowing
they
them.
will choose whether or not they go first or second, actually.
Oh,
So
okay.
they will most likely choose for the English team to go first.
Okay, so if you go first, it means that you get to select the last.
If you go second, it means that you get
Get
to select the last 2
yeah,
pairings,
okay,
which
yeah.
is why, yeah.
Is just what you want.
So
yeah.
most likely the Belgium captain is going to make the English team put up a player first.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in that case, yep.
All right.
So, yep, Brett Wilkie just went ahead and offered up himself, it
Yep.
looks like.
Yep. So Brett Wilkie, again, that's the circle player, and his list choices, I believe, were Morvana and Chromac 2.
Is that Morvana 1 or Morvana
Morvana 1 and Chromac 2.
2? Yeah, because I've seen him play that Morvana 1 list last year. It's actually quite good.
Yes. Is that the one where he plays with the druids and
he kills his own druids and then revives them.
Revives them back so that his cloud wall never.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he has an unimpeachable cloud wall
yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which I mean that's going to be interesting. So he's going to try and probably bait out any of the purification or upkeep removal from the opposing team. Just because Morvana 1 is such a nightmare matchup in case you don't have
right.
either
Absolutely.
of those options.
Yeah, you have to be able to remove revive or not revive.
Yeah,
it is revive.
Revive.
That's an okay.
Yep. Or no, it's regrowth.
Regrowth. Thank
Sorry.
you. Yeah, I knew that didn't sound right. Revive is the individual model. Yeah, not the whole. Yeah. So Belgium now. Again, they have the option of a Crix player, Kador player, Signar player, Circle player, and Retribution player. For Purification, it looks like we're looking at
Morvana 2.
Morvana
and
2.
Haley 3 has Repudiate.
Yeah, that's true. So we're guessing maybe they'll put out those two, Signar and Circle. We'll see.
That would be my guess.
Wout and Tommy is what we're
And
guessing
if they
they're going to
don't,
put forward.
I'd
here.
be curious to see whether or not Brett goes ahead and gets the non.
Okay. The non-purification. So they actually put out Klaus with Crix, and then they did put out Tommy with Circle and Purification. So the question is, will Brett choose to play into Crix, Denegra, or Scar, thus avoiding the ability to remove?
Well, let's see. It depends on whether or not Brett feels confident in his Circle matchup with his other list. If he does, then he might just go ahead and go for the mirror.
Sure.
Otherwise, I would expect him to likely take Morvana against Crix. Although I don't know. I mean, it depends on if he feels confident with his Kruger versus the field, then maybe he's essentially the anvil here, and he'll just pick whatever he feels his teammates don't want to.
I was looking to see if there was the Blood Hag in either of these lists, as that might be a potential anti-Morvana.
No, I don't think.
You don't think it's
not so
significant
much.
enough?
No, especially
Fair
now when
enough.
there's a cloud wall.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
She doesn't exist in either of the lists anyway, so it's not something you would have to think about. So we do believe he's probably going to go into Klaus and
Yeah, I'm
and
assuming they're
Crix.
reviewing the lists right now
Yeah.
to find out.
Yeah.
And he might be, like I said, he might be conferring with his teammates and just deciding if he feels strong enough with his Kruger list to play against anything. He might just be reviewing with his teammates, which player would you guys rather not have to face?
Right. Very true.
And then I'll go ahead and take that one.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
'cause, that's one of the nice things about this format is just the amount of planning and teamwork and strategy that goes into just this matchup selection phase is actually pretty big.
Yeah.
And it can oftentimes just this can determine the course of the entire match.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
it'll be interesting to see how what decision he makes. Sorry, is Brett playing Bradigus or Kruger? I kept saying Kruger, but
Chromac, I believe.
I was wrong on both counts.
Yeah. I believe it's Chromac 2. Yeah, Chromac 2 and Morvana.
Oh, okay.
So we have a chance to see, have a little chance to see
Kind
some of the Big Mac.
Kind of hoping for Big Mac.
Yeah. Big Mac attack.
God, I hope Colin is watching right now.
All right, it looks like a decision has been made. And they are pairing off against Klaus and the Crix. So it'll be
they're-
Brett Wilkie and Circle versus Klaus and Crix.
So I'd be very interested to see where he picks Morvana, and then it seems like he was just kind of dodging the purification.
Yeah, agreed. So now we have Tommy out with Circle. Tommy's Circle pairings are, I believe that was the Morvana to Kruger. Tommy was, Bradigus and Morvana too. Very, very standard power pairing for Circle. So, okay, so they're putting out Kador and Trolls on England's side. So we're looking at Jamie P and Butcher 3 Sorsha 2 and Michael Dick and Calandra and Doomshaper as options to play into Bradigus or Morvana 2.
Even just looking past the factions, that's kind of a tough choice between when you just say like, I can either play against Michael Dick or I can play against Jamie P.
Sure.
Both
No,
of these
absolutely.
choices are not,
Absolutely.
Michael Dick should be mentioned. He was on the Scotland team last year, actually. He moved over to England this year and made the switch to their team. So
So, how do you feel about EE or Runes of War into Bradigus? What's the general wisdom on that?
well, I personally think that Runes of War. I've never played the matchup. I want to go
Be clear on
yeah,
that.
be clear
Yeah,
on
sure,
that.
sure.
But I feel like Runes of War is a pretty good matchup against Bradigus.
Okay.
In that you've got a decent amount of armor that's tough for them to crack, even with synergy chains. They have to get their Wold Guardians in there pretty early. And then the list itself has enough power between Mulligan Rage and Doomshaper's Feet and Purification that it can crack through the opposing armor of the Wolds and start really whittling down their options in terms of building up high synergy chains. And the big problem with the matchup before the Circle Stone nerf was that Doomshaper was the weak link
Oh, sure.
for getting killed.
Sure.
But I mean, that's not as much of an issue anymore. It's not as much of a threat anymore.
Right.
Those vectors are much more identifiable.
Predictable, yeah.
Predictable
Yeah.
now. So
And then how do you feel about either Butcher 3 or Sorsha 2 into Bradigus? They both seem like they could be built to be reasonable in that matchup. The Butcher 3 list. Oh, the Butcher 3 list is running.
I guess it's actually irrelevant because they went ahead and chose Michael Dick.
Okay,
So-
so it is Michael Dick versus Tommy Guns, I believe.
That's interesting because, like I said, I've heard from several Bradigus players that I know that they actually don't think that matchup is that bad for them, the Runes of War matchup. So
Yeah.
that might be a matchup that actually just comes down to player skill.
Sure.
And if they feel more confident in their circle play than the troll play, then maybe they would want to just choose that. So.
Yeah. All right, so we currently have Jamie Perkins up. Again, Jamie Perkins has Butcher 3 and Sorsha 2. The Butcher 3 list is actually running quite jack heavy. He has 2 Juggernauts and a Ruin in that list. And as well as the typical Iron Black Dragon Pikemen, some Widowmakers, and some various support pieces. The Sorcerer 2 list is running Conquest, Great Bears, and then sort of the Winter Guard loadout that is pretty common with her, as well as the Nis Hunters. So a very shooty Sorcerer 2 and a very jack-heavy Butcher 3.
Exciting.
So go over to Blonde and see what they have remaining. So the options for them to put out here are still... what have we got? We've got Retribution and Lawrence. We've got Signar and Wout. And we have a potential Butcher-on-Butcher mirror match in Dirk. So those are the teams, those are the players that Belgium is considering putting out right now. If you were going up against Jamie P, Butcher 3, Sorcerer 2, what would you be thinking about right now?
Let's see, and I still have
You have-
Kador, Signar,
And Retribution.
Retribution. I'm guessing
I think Signar has to
they
be one
don't
of
want
your...
a mirror match.
Right.
So I'm guessing Signar and Retribution. It depends. They might want the mirror match. Let's see, because they get to choose. Remember, the last going to choose against that.
Right, that would be my guess. Yeah. Which means that it'll be interesting. I think they're going to put out Dirk and probably Wout, the Signar and Kador players.
Mm-hmm.
Probably means that England will pick. All right, so they didn't actually put them down for us to be able to tell. So Dirk was an option. They did not pick Dirk. Sorry, guys. We had a little hiccup, internet hiccup, and we're right back with you now. So apologies about that. All right, so it looks like Dirk is going to be playing against Paul. Oh,
Yep.
they're still trying to figure it out, I guess.
So who was the last choice? I guess.
I believe it's Wout.
Jamie P against Wout.
I believe that is that matchup.
Right. So they got Haley 3.
Yeah.
Or Haley 2.
And
Haley
they
3.
also happen to put the Kador player up. Yeah, I think.
Right.
It
I
played
think
out
they
just
were
like
trying
we
to
were
go for
talking.
the mirror
Yep,
match
yep.
and then get those last two.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So now we're looking at Paul North, and that's the Crix player, and then Dan Cunningham is the Menoth player, and they're trying.
So we got Kador into body and soul, as he declared it, because he's confident that they're not going to play the other list.
Okay, so it'll be the Kador player, Dirk, into Paul North, Crix player, and then they will get their retribution into Dan Cunningham's Menoth.
So that's going to be Lawrence versus...
versus Dan.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we've got Brett Wilkie versus Klaus, Tommy versus Michael Dick, Jamie P versus Wout, Dirk versus Paul North, and Lawrence versus Dan. Should be kind of exciting. It is interesting that they did manage to get retribution into Menoth, which is exactly what we thought.
Yeah. Well, I think that regardless of
how anything else played out,
regardless of whether they did go for the Kador mirror match or not, they were going to get one of those good matchups.
Right, exactly.
So
exactly.
I mean, I think they definitely got to go for the. It's not even really a greedy play. It's just kind of the correct tactical decision at that point to try the correct strategy to try and just get both of those favored matchups. But regardless of what was going to happen, they were going to get one. So.
Well,
how do we feel about these?
That's what I was going to say. While they're getting set up, do you want to talk a little bit about how we feel about the particular matchups? I definitely. So we're talking about Harbinger and High Reclaimer into Viros 2 and Raven. I'm going to guess he's going to go with Raven.
Yeah.
That seems like the. So we're talking about Harbinger and High Reclaimer into Viros 2 and Raven. I'm going to guess he's going to go with Raven.
Yeah.
That seems like the. Raven is a problem probably for both Harbinger and High Reclaimer.
Right.
I'm going to guess High Reclaimer is probably going to be his play.
Imagine Griffin Spam is going to be
useful.
especially effective against Kador or against Menoth, but maybe I might be wrong about that. So my
gut tells me Raven versus High Reclaimer is this
right.
matchup.
That is my gut as well.
And I player skill aside, I feel that Raven has the advantage in that match.
Agreed. I mean, it's
Yeah.
sort of the conventional wisdom in general that
Yeah.
Retribution has a leg up on Menoth at this point in time.
Right,
So.
right. Okay, then we have Dirk versus Paul. Paul North is playing Crix, and Dirk is playing Butcher 2, Butcher 3. Paul North is playing Asphyxious 2, Denegra 2. Or no, I'm sorry. It's not Butcher 2, Butcher 3, is it? Maybe it is. Let me double check. Apologies. Dirk is playing, Butcher 2, Butcher 3 into Denegra 2 and Lich 2. I feel like this is advantaged for Crix regardless.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of got thrown to the wolves a little bit there in terms to try and get those
that
favorite
mirror match,
matchups.
yeah.
So he might be just kind of playing from behind at this point. But I think Butcher 2, is it Butcher 2 Doom Reavers?
I
Can we
would
check that out?
imagine it is, but I will double check. Butcher 2, Tier 3 Mad Dogs of
Yep,
War. It
Doom
absolutely
Reavers,
is.
yep.
Which is actually not a terrible anti-Crix
It's not a terrible anti-Crix list. We've seen this before. We actually saw this last year. And it was that the matchup was especially horrible last year because it was Goreshade 2 who just preys on the swarms and swarms of single wound living models. And I don't think that they have that right. It's not. It's not a Goreshade 2. We said it's Denegra.
No, it's Denegra 2, Body and Soul. In fact, that's what they seemed, according to what they were saying, they seemed pretty certain that he was going to play Body and Soul as opposed to Lich 2.
I think that actually could. I think that we're definitely going to see Butcher 2.
It's going to be Butcher 2 versus probably Denegra 2, unless they were joking and just got us real good. so that matchup probably Body and Soul into Butcher 2 Mad Dogs.
I don't know. That's not actually.
I actually think that's a pretty even matchup.
That's not terrible for the Butcher player.
Not at all.
It's certainly better than a lot of Kador.
The Butcher player doesn't really have a good way around Pursuit, so that may become a problem. We'll have to see. But
does he have a Conquest?
He does not. He has.
So that's good. I mean, the worst it's going to be is then it's because he can't get any of the Doom Reavers.
Oh, that's a good point. So it's literally just going to be on the Berserker.
It's going to be the Berserker,
which is not a big deal.
Better than 6 points than 18 points.
So. Yeah, absolutely. So I would potentially say maybe slight lean to the Crix player, just Crix in general. But
I don't know.
That's a pretty even matchup.
That's going to be an interesting game.
I think that will be a good game.
Going to be an interesting game.
Okay. Jamie P versus Wout is that is Signar, Haley 2, Haley 3 versus Butcher 3, Sorsha 2. What do you think about that?
So the conventional wisdom here is that Kador is disadvantaged against Signar.
Right.
I'm not sure how the Haley 2 nerf really shakes out with that in regards. There might, some shakeup might have happened, but Haley 2 has traditionally always been a problem for Kador. And Butcher 3, I think Jamie has been talking about in the past about having a Butcher 3 list that does have a pretty good chance against Signar, that he specifically techs for the anti-Signar. So that's what I would expect to see. Is the Butcher 3
it is
list.
3 Jacks in this list, which is potentially a lot for some of these Signar lists.
2 Juggernauts and
2 Juggernauts and Ruin.
And Ruin.
Yeah.
So
along with Butcher himself, could be a difficult matchup. You could take a look at Wout's list real quick.
My expectation is that Jamie P is going to be playing Butcher 3.
Fair enough.
Because I think that he specifically techs that list for Crix or for Signar.
For Signar. And the Haley 2 list is a pretty typical Stormwall Haley 2 list with Stormlances, a typical European Haley 2 list. And the Haley 3 list is running Black 13th, Stormlancers, Tempest Blazers, Trenchers, Ion and Holt. So it looks like Trencher Wall with a bunch of Cav behind it. Maybe an assassination type list. I don't know.
I hope we see the Haley 3 list.
I would love to see the Haley 3 list, but I feel like if he thinks, as we do, that Butcher 3 is what's coming down, the Haley 2 list is probably more likely to be played.
For sure.
Traditionally, Signar should have the advantage here. Jamie P's teching for anti-Signar, apparently, and Jamie P's very good, so that should be potentially a quite good game. All right, then we have Tommy versus Michael Dick. Tommy is playing Bradigus and Morvana 2, and Michael Dick, do you remember what?
Runes of War and Elemental.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, yep. So, do you think that we will see? Do you think we will see Runes of War versus Bradigus?
I do.
Or do you think he's going to go Morvana 2 here?
I don't think he's going to go Morvana 2 here. He could, I guess.
Morvana, I am looking at it. It's Druids, Tharn Blood Trackers, with Nula, Tharn Ravagers. It's a Ravager build on Morvana 2. A couple Black Clads, Gallows Groves. It doesn't really feel to me
So-
like a Morvana list that I'd be.
So here's the thing about Morvana 2 is that while she has Purification, she also doesn't like to see Purification across the table from her.
That is true, unless she doesn't care about Fog of War. And against Runes of War, she might not really care about Fog of War.
Runes of War has a decent number of ranged magical.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
it's-
that's
you know,
true.
you're gonna have 12 rock hammers coming at
That's
you.
true.
So.
That's true.
Also Rampager.
Yeah,
So
fair
Fog of War
enough.
is gonna be
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think I honestly I think it's gonna be Bradigus.
Bradigus,
I think
yeah.
it's just gonna be. I think that's both of those players. I mean that matchup is kind of just distilled at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Signar or Circle, sorry, rather doesn't have a ton of really good options versus runes that are super viable.
Sure.
Bradix is one of the probably more 50-50 or more coin flippy ones, which is better than I think a lot of what they usually get in their standard sort of competitors, sort of the run of their competitive sort of standard tournament lists, and then for trolls. Just between those two lists, you're not going to take
Elemental
Calandra.
Evolution.
Yeah, you're not going to take
into-
Calandra into circles.
No,
so,
yeah. Okay.
There's too many. They have too many options for elemental immunity. They have too many the lights aren't not going to be as good.
I'd also be worried.
I mean, the thing
particularly
is
with the Morvana 2 list, I'd be worried about assassinate. Well, and Bradigus worried about getting Calandra killed as well.
So I mean, the thing is I could be wrong because I haven't played a ton of EE,
Sure.
so I don't have as much insight into that matchup as I.
It doesn't feel like EE plays like theoretically, it doesn't feel like EE plays well into Bradigus.
Yeah, and also just I'm just speaking from more experience on the Runes of War side. Like Runes of War is just excellent in the circle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. So we think Runes of War versus Bradigus
Yeah.
there. And the last matchup is Brett Wilkie and Klaus. Brett Wilkie, or Klaus is playing Denegra and Scar, both prime versions. And Brett Wilkie was playing
Morvana
Circle.
one.
So Big Mac and Morvana 1.
Yep.
So he did manage to avoid Purification. So
Yep.
Morvana
Yeah, they got
might
to
be an
pick this
option
one.
here. Yeah.
I honestly do think it's going to be Morvana, just because regrowth is it's such a strong option if you have no answers for it, which I don't think that the Crix player does.
Should not have any answers for it.
Also, what's his Chromec list looking like? Most Chromec lists are very beast heavy.
This is extremely beast heavy. 3 Stalkers. Well, 3 Stalkers, a Gorax, and then some Druids, some Stones, but it is 3 heavies and a Gorax.
I mean, it's 33 or 34 points
of beast.
of battle group.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
Typically not something you want to run into Scar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So-
Exactly. So I don't see that
Yeah.
happening
Yeah.
really, but
Yeah, I think Morvana is probably the list that he wants to play into something like
Yeah.
Crix. So we expect Morvana 1 there. Do we expect Scar, or do we expect, what was it, Denegra, did I say?
yeah, Denegra. I mean, I'm curious. Does he have? Is it shooting Denegra? The popular shooting Denegra that we've seen lately.
Let's see. It's with Nis, Boomhowlers, Devil Shadows, Mutineers, Ayako.
Yep.
So yes, it's a very shooting
That's the
heavy
shooting,
Denegra.
yep. I mean, so like we said before, and that list can kill you. With Morvana
Absolutely.
and a regrowing Cloud Wall every turn, he's going to have a great protection against that list. So if
Scar may be the choice here with Dark Guidance
yeah.
and just the Bane Knights and just
if
come across the
Klaus
table.
has seen Brett play before and he knows, because he doesn't telegraph, it's not a super telegraphed play, and it's kind of a nuanced
Sure.
move. What he does is he casts Regrowth on his Druids, and then he positions and he has his Druids walk up and make a bunch of clouds to just form this solid cloud wall covering line of sight from his entire army. And then he has his models with Reach, I think he's got Getorix in that list, he's got a Warp Wolf, Stalker. He has them walk up behind the Druids and then just attack them through the clouds and kill them in the back. So that he has just this solid cloud wall with no target beacons,
Yeah.
essentially, which is
Yeah.
what the Druids sometimes, they allow you to charge in.
Right.
Or,
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
Yeah,
target,
yeah.
models
Yeah.
and try and drift AoEs, which, Morvana doesn't want anything to do with AoEs as an Armor 13.
No, she doesn't.
So what he does is, he kills his own Druids, and then the next turn he regrows them with Regrowth to just have them go up and do the whole thing again. So it's kind of a ghetto high reclaimer sort of style cloud wall that just covers
Yeah.
your entire army.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be pretty tough for Crix to deal with, and that's going to be pretty good defensive tech against like in a shooting assassination.
Yeah.
If you can't draw line of sight to anything, then
So if he's aware of or can interpret the existence of the cloud wall,
Right.
I think Scar is probably what he would choose
Yeah.
to go with.
But I mean, if he's never seen Brett play,
Then he
might go, well, I want this. There's
withering.
always a chip in a chair
Yeah.
to shoot them to death with Denegra,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm going to go for that one, and then he
Yeah.
might be sorely disappointed.
Yeah.
So,
So it'll be interesting to see what he chooses. We're predicting the best game to be Scar versus Morvana. Yeah.
so it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we have an ETA on table setup? We're working on that.
Yeah, working on that. We can. I just got to start talking about the scenario, and then
we
we
go.
switch out, so we can
Sure.
we can talk about whether or not we think this will affect any of the matchups drastically. But the scenario is scenario 8. It's recon. There is no kill box. There is a rectangular zone, a square in the middle of the table. That zone has friendly objectives on each side that will contest. And then there's 2 flags placed 24 inches up, so in the center of the board, and 12 inches from either side. You can dominate a flag for 1 control point. You can only dominate the flag.
Right.
You can destroy your opponent's objective for 1 control point, and you can control the zone for a control point or dominate it for 2 control points. 5 controls.
So my experience with this scenario is that it is very live in terms of it is capable of winning this scenario with, it's capable
on
of
scenario
winning,
play.
winning
absolutely.
this game by scenario play
Absolutely.
with 5 control points. Usually, because the zone is it's very small. It has a very small surface area on one player's side because it's short side to short side.
Yeah.
And then you see that it's pretty typical for someone to blow up the objective and then clear all the models out on the other side of the zone and then score 3 points
Right.
with their caster.
With their caster dominating,
towed in
yeah.
on their side.
Yeah.
So they get 1 point for the objective and then 2 points for dominating. And then after that, when you've got a 3-point lead in 1 turn, it's very, very easy after that point
To steamroll that in.
then you only need to all you need to do at that point is either kill all the models in the zone to dominate once more for victory, or you can decide to back off and take a safer, bunker up around one of the flags and then just take a.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this scenario is very, very live on this table, and then there is not kill box.
There is no kill
right?
box.
Correct. So
So good for the Minoth player here.
yeah, if you can stop the scenario
Yeah.
from happening,
Yeah,
then very good
yeah.
for him.
Do we think that this scenario favors any of the casters that we have talked about? Anybody taking here? Trying to think. Let's see. We're talking Haley 2. Do you think Haley 2 is particularly favored in this scenario? Does that help her against like Butcher 3, for example?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it stops him from being able to get all of his warjacks into the zone.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Cater warjacks are slow. Butcher can speed them up a tiny little bit with Energizer.
Yeah.
That's more than a tiny little bit. 6
Yeah.
inches over the course of 2 turns is pretty.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Um,
But yeah, so I mean, that's the whole thing. Like I said, if Runes of War can get to the zone, and just tow that War Beast brick into the zone, then I think it's going to sit there for the rest of the game.
Right,
It's going
yeah.
to be good to go.
Yeah.
And then
Obviously, Bradigus can kind of do
Bradigus
something very
can
similar.
Do a very similar thing. Morvana can also, just
Continue to buy back.
smoke wall
Yeah.
farther and farther forward.
Yeah. The Crix players obviously will have no problem, or Crix player will have no problem jamming bodies into the zone.
So I guess we're leading up to it seems like an English advantaged because all the matchups we just talked about are.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see if they can, if Belgium can maybe counter that a little bit. We hope.
I don't feel that the scenario play specifically favors one side over the other. Really.
Okay.
I think everyone's got some game here. The one place where I feel like it might is that Butcher 3. I mean, Energizer. Was not thinking about Energizer. That may make all the difference. But Haley is strong in scenario play.
For sure.
And this is definitely a potential 2-turn scenario win.
For sure.
So that may, if anybody is favored in our theoretical matchups, I feel like Haley 2 might, which favors the Belgians.
So you want so you're looking for Wout to.
I'm looking for Wout to take
push him
advantage
out.
of that scenario.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's
Wout to knock him out. All right, we're gonna head to table
Oh,
one.
man.
Lawrence and Dan. Lawrence did pick Raven. Dan did not pick High Reclaimer. He picked Harbinger. So this will
Okay.
be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so we're still setting up here. How do you feel about the choice of Harbinger over High Reclaimer?
I think it's fine. I mean, High Reclaimer is not going to do a ton against an army that has Mage Hunter Strike Force. And he's just certainly going to fear for his life like,
Sure.
the entire
Yeah,
game.
absolutely.
I'm not surprised by the Raven choice.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been quite surprised by Virus too.
Is this so I see looks like Halberdiers and I see Mage Hunter Strike Force. What's the unit on the top? Is that Rifleman?
Let me pull it up here real quick for
Looks
you.
like Rifleman.
All right, so the Raven list has Halberdiers, Riflemen, Mage Hunter Strike Force, 2 units of Strike Force, 1 with a Commander, 1 with Iris. A unit of Halberdiers with UA, Riflemen, no UA. And then Stormfall Archers, very, very shooty. Iona and Holt as well.
Now, can you pull up the Harby list real quick?
I
so
absolutely
we
can pull up the Harvey list. Yep.
look at that.
All right. All right. The Harbinger list is a Devout, Hierophant, Vengers, Exemplar Vengers, Max, Roven and Honor Guard, Knights Exemplar, Tristan with a Reckoner, Exemplar Seneschal, Vassal, Rax, Gravis, and then Choir, Midwinter, and Saxon Auric.
This is a pretty old school Harby list.
It is.
Minus Tristan, obviously.
Now, Devout is the Shield Guard slash Magic Guard light, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that will help a little bit.
Yeah, we were talking up. I mean, honestly, since there's no kill box, yeah, like you said,
It helps.
Harby can definitely, back up. She's got her feet turned also for 1 turn of safety.
Yeah.
So if she plays cannily enough, she can. I mean, she can definitely have a game here. I think easily.
Yeah.
And Harby's game in these kinds of scenarios is always, tow something into the zone and then martyr it, and never lose that presence, that scenario presence. Bastions by themselves also are. Well, there were no bastions, right? It was
No Bastion.
it
It's just
was
the Seneschal.
Vengers. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and look over real quick at table 2 and see what it's like over there. So we've got Haley 2 on the left versus Butcher 3.
Okay, so this is Wout and Jamie P.
Yep. So that's pretty much exactly
Haley.
what we,
It's exactly what we predicted.
exactly what we predicted. And yeah, you can see his Jack's there, like right in the center. So he's going to try and run them forward and get them into the zone and Energizer and just establish that foothold before Haley can shut him out. And it should be noted too with Haley, like you can't just tow into his zone. You have to kind of dig deep into the zone because of both domination and telekinesis.
Indeed.
So it's going to be tough.
It's worth noting Butcher's objective is fuel cache. Pretty good choice there with his 3 Jacks. Yeah. And I will double check on what Haley's objective
Probably
is.
Valor, I'm guessing.
That would be my guess as well. It is Effigy of Valor.
Yep. We're going to take a quick look at table 3 where we have another matchup to report. So that looks like Morvana 2 versus Doomshaper.
All right, so this is Tommy with Morvana 2. Which
so we were wrong about
we
the
were
Bradigus.
wrong about
So he must feel strong with his Morvana 2 against.
And then so that's Tommy against Michael with Runes of War.
Yeah, I mean, so that's not super duper surprising to me, I guess, but it goes a little bit against the conventional wisdom of just Bradigus.
Yeah.
But I always thought of back in the day, I always thought like one of the big troll hard matchups in Circle. There's 2 big ones in my opinion. It's Kruger 2 and Morvana 2. And this is all in my opinion. But I think that with Morvana 2, she's versatile enough, and you can build her in so many different ways that they can easily just have like a Morvana list teched for specific matchups, and it's not like the Runes EE matchup is a hard one to predict.
Right.
Like if you see a troll
Right.
player, nowadays it's 50-50 that they're going to be playing those exact two lists.
Yeah.
So it's pretty easy for them to have one player on their team that they can just like.
Well, and she always just kind of, regardless of what you're in, what matchup you're in, she has that reroll assassination vector that she
Yeah.
can always bring to bear.
Right. And
always have
Doomsaber
an
is
option.
not
difficult to kill.
kill.
Yeah, exactly. So that might be his line of thought here as well.
Yep. Interesting.
Yeah.
So we're going to move over to table 4 now to see the matchup there. This is going to be Butcher 2 versus Asphyxious 2.
All right. So Butcher 2. So this is Dirk versus Paul North. Butcher 2 versus Asphyxious 2. This is actually not. We thought we were going to see Body and Soul, so they head faked us.
They had faked us.
They had faked us.
Well, or at least they faked
the Belgians.
They faked the Belgians.
Yeah. So, sorry, what did I say the names were here? This is
It's,
Dirk,
yeah.
Dirk and Paul North.
Paul
yeah.
North. I still think
I mean, this is still fine. Like
it's still fine. He's gonna. Does he have a war dog back there?
He,
that butcher
I
list?
think he does.
He's got to just run that war dog to the edge of the table.
No, he does not have a war
Oh,
dog.
that's
no
good for
war
him.
dog. Yeah,
That is good.
no war dog.
In that case, the only excarnatable model on the table is
Butcher. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, he doesn't want Butcher to get excarnate either. I
No,
guess, but,
but I mean, yeah.
that's at least one thing that he doesn't have to worry about.
True.
So.
True.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, no one likes to play into Gatsby, but like you said, this has kind of been one of Kador's anti-Crix lists for a long time, and it doesn't necessarily. It plays very similar to a Crix list.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, also, like, look, he got to go first, and he's already, 6 inches away from
right.
the opponent
Yeah.
on the first
Yeah.
turn. So
Yeah.
it's going to be, his work's going to be cut out for him.
Yeah.
I mean, this list actually has a very strong scenario presence in general. So when they're playing into a scenario that is very winnable, as this one is, that can definitely swing things. So my guess is he's going to try and go for that. He's going to try and make that push for that scenario
For
pressure.
the scenario play here.
And then the counterplay, I think, to that is just looking for that assassination.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
With Asphyxious, because the Crix attrition plan, just on the strength of their army alone, it certainly exists. That definitely you can do that. You can do that.
You can do that. It's not necessarily the strongest point, particularly Lich.
the number of times we've heard Keith say that he had to play the game without his caster, and then he would
Right.
go. It would turn out that it would just be fine because Crix is going to Crix.
Right. Yeah.
But losing Excarnate is definitely going to it definitely makes things harder.
Right.
So-
No, it absolutely does.
Especially against infantry of this
Of this nature. Yeah.
volume.
Yeah.
So we're gonna head over to the last table now to check out the last matchup.
So it'll be Klaus versus Brett Wilkie, and it's Morvana 1, as expected, versus, what was the Denny 1. So we were trying to decide, would he go with that shooting list into the clouds? Would he go with the Scar infantry list? He chose to go with the shooting list.
I'm curious to see how this goes. Yeah, like I said, he might not have known
Exactly.
because it's not a very common play style. The regrowth on the
regrowth on
druids.
the druids,
I
yeah.
wouldn't have known about it unless I had seen it last year.
Indeed.
And he might be disappointed at how this turns out here. We could be wrong. Maybe it's what he was expecting. So.
Sure. Absolutely. Looks like.
And you can see him already setting up for.
Brett's
the
already set up his cloud wall here.
cloud wall. And then the models that he has poking out are blood trackers and they're stealth. So
Right.
it's
Right.
It's not going to be that big of a deal to give a line of sight to those.
Denny 1 does not have marked for death, correct? That's just Denny 2.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So I needed to take a second there to process your question.
My question, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No mark for death. So
Yeah.
they're going to be stealth for days. Also, the terrain on this table is interesting. You see the trenches there that just happen to be just barely touching those zones, but it looks like you maybe can't fit a model in until your objective's dead into the trench.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just on both sides.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
interesting choice there.
Oh, should we? I should probably try and figure out what the rest of these objectives are, huh? In this game, uh,
I bet most of them are Valor.
uh, Colossus is effigy of valor.
Yeah, it's a
In this
very
game,
popular objective.
indeed, indeed, it is the default. And Brett's with Morvana is bunker.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So bunker is cover, and then it takes one less dice of damage.
No,
for
Valor
shooting.
is cover.
Okay.
Bunker is girded,
Girded.
and
Okay.
then yeah, impervious flesh. Or
Okay.
one less damage.
One
die
less
against,
damage die against ranged attacks. Yeah.
That's curious. I'm assuming he would have. I mean, it's going to be basically impervious to shooting anyway.
Right.
But as you can see right there, he's actually using the objective to extend the cloud wall a little bit. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why he chose it.
That's
as,
true.
You know,
That's true.
just to give him a little bit more cloud real estate.
Yeah.
Which actually does make a big difference.
It can.
So.
Yeah.
So now, yeah, you can see here he might not kill his own druids on the first turn, if he doesn't think that they can maybe make any meaningful ranged attacks against them or get against them, which I could see him not doing in this matchup. They're going to be def 18 versus a load of low rat.
Yeah.
That sort of relies on debuffs and knockdowns.
Yeah.
And,
So he's shipped the clock back over, and we'll see Klaus right now taking a look at that cloud wall and thinking about how to get around it, I believe.
mm-hmm.
So he's got something parasited apparently, but I can't
Yeah, I don't know.
quite see what it is, but he just said he upkept parasite for free. So something is parasited.
Maybe I'm looking for the token. I don't see one.
Yeah.
He might have parasited one of his own units just for the plus
Just
one
for
armor.
the +1 armor.
Which is weird because, well, I guess it's +1 because you get to upkeep it for free
Yeah.
with the
Yeah, it is.
ammonia,
Yeah, it is
or
just strictly
the
+1 armor. Yeah.
the Wither Shadow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know. That's unconventional, I
Yeah.
would say. So yeah, I see this game trying to just. Those guns are going to have a hell of a time against this cloud. Camouflage, stealth, and no line of sight.
Yep. Agreed. And then fighting that battle against the regrowth.
Right.
Like what little headway you do make gets undone. Like, could be a very frustrating game for
And
Klaus.
then the circle already plays a hit and run game.
Right.
And when they have a hit and run, that they can go out and hit you and come and hide back behind clouds. That's
yeah.
going to be even better. So
Yeah. Could be, like I said, could be a very frustrating game for Klaus. Will Denegra's feet actually prevent, on Denegra's feet turn, will that prevent the clouds from being placed?
yes.
So that is potentially a counter to
Actually, you should double check that. I think her
Okay.
feet prevents special attacks.
star attacks, not necessarily star actions.
It's kind of hard to keep it straight. I know that her feet does one, Grimm's feet does one. I forget which one it is all the time.
Cannot run or make special attacks, so they
can.
will still be able to
Yep,
cloud
they
wall.
can still cloud. Yep.
So yeah, I expect him to kind of play like everyone plays against cloud walls and try to flank as much as he possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of curious, I guess, with the NIST maybe should have even just ran hard up that side.
I was thinking the same thing. I guess he wants to take some shots maybe at the tree.
The tree's going to be stealthed.
Oh yeah, so they must be shooting into the druids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they ignore camouflage. So.
Yeah, yeah, and CRA, so they actually have a chance of. It's just
I mean, maybe that's why he didn't kill his own root druids, just to stall the Nis Hunters from
from running up
running
the
up
table.
the table. Just
Yeah.
Yep, so he's just going to go ahead and make some CRAs onto these druids. I don't see this doing very much, though, honestly.
No, wait, I don't think it's going to do anything.
And he just mentioned as well, he does have them zombified as well. So that was a tough check he just rolled.
So he's just Klaus is just clarifying that Zombify will not interfere with regrowth, which requires living models. Even though it makes them undead, it does not. It obviously expires.
Because the undead goes away
before the regrowth triggers. Yep.
Yeah, we should mention too in the chat, people are asking about wouldn't it be easier to kill the druids once they get crippling grasp and et cetera, et cetera. Well, I don't see any crippling grasps happening this game unless a big mistake is made by
because of null magic.
Because of counter magic.
Or counter magic, yeah. Null magic is Orin Midwinter, but yeah. Agreed.
Although I mean it could that could be a reason too.
Well, does counter magic?
The aura shrinks the less druids than the unit there are.
It does.
So that can be a reason to not kill the druids as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Does counter magic actually prevent the arcane? Is the wording on counter magic prevent?
Well, it prevents
arcane?
anything from being targeted.
Oh, that's right. That is how it works. Okay. So yeah, I think right now he's contemplating what he's actually doing on his turn.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely killed those 3 druids dead, but unfortunately that doesn't accomplish.
It doesn't accomplish anything.
Very much, because they are. We should mention too. We got confirmation the druids are regrowthed.
Yes. Yeah. Which we expected was the case.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, this is always playing against Morvana 1. Like you get in these situations, particularly with this version of the list.
You kind of go through the 7 stages of grief.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like, what? Regrowth doesn't work that way, does it? Like, denial first, and then it's outrage. Like, this is BS. Like, what?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you eventually just come to acceptance. Fine, I guess, just kill me.
Yeah, okay, I didn't do anything on my turn. I guess.
All right,
sure.
fine.
Yeah, shouldn't have rolled those dice. He does have Devil Shadows Mutineers who remove from play. That is actually highly relevant.
Yeah, that is relevant. And they're also Zira has
the guns.
Yeah, she has Eyeless Sight.
Yeah.
Right?
No, she doesn't have Eyeless Sight.
Oh, but she ignores.
She has Black Penny.
Black Penny.
Yeah.
I think she does have Eyeless Sight.
Maybe I'm wrong. This would be quite embarrassing for me.
Yeah, you're the Merc player here.
I know.
Come on.
I don't play the Devil's Rejects.
Well, maybe you will now that you know the one.
Maybe I will.
I'm like 99% sure. Although you made me question myself because I'm like, he's a Merc player. He would know.
She does in fact have Eyeless Sight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, 2 shots, Eyeless Sight, and RFP. Like that's significant.
That is
for
really
this matchup.
good, actually. That is really good.
Yeah. So protecting her.
Is it RFP anything or just living?
I believe. Oh, that's a very good question. I think it is living. Yes, it's living enemy model with an attack.
Womp womp.
Oh wait, no, that's the Bloodbound. No, yeah. Bloodbound requires when this model destroys a living enemy model with an attack. So he's got to kill. He's got to kill that witch dog.
He's got to get that croc.
He's got to get that croc.
ABP out for that croc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Womp womp.
Where is the? Oh, yeah, the croc's way back
it's
there.
always way back there.
Like, I was just trying to locate it, but yeah, it is the farthest back model on the table.
It is the farthest back model on the table. Oh man. All right. So while things are kind of slowed down here, while he's trying to decide how to do this, we're gonna kind of loop back through and see if any other
Just
interesting
check,
developments have happened.
check on a few of these games in progress. Okay. So we're going back to Dirk and Paul here with Butcher 2 versus Asphyxious 2. You can see that on his turn, the Lich player put up some clouds there.
Yeah, just and you can see that he spaced them as much as he spaced them
So that
So
a
that
Doom Reaver cannot get through.
to
without-
deny as
yeah,
much table space as
exactly.
possible.
Yeah. And he's using so he used that forest there and then the clouds to give himself a nice line of protection from encroaching Doom Reavers. It looks like right now he's checking line of sight to see if he can actually see to charge. It's very close, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks to me like he's out, but if he can get in there, that's going to be a lot of dead Banes.
Very possibly.
And like the worst thing ever when you're rolling these Berserk attacks is when you roll like, yeah, you're looking for 5s. It's like, yeah, I got one. Yeah, I got one. Oh, I missed.
Yeah.
Like now they're 8-man vengeance. Want one.
Yeah.
Because I mean, 5s are likely, but they're not.
Right. Yeah.
They're not bulletproof.
Yeah. Anytime that you've like created a plan where you're just like, I'm definitely going to do a lot of damage to this unit, or I'm not going to damage this unit at all, and then something goes awry.
That happens to me with Madrak 1
Yeah.
all the time. I'm like, I'm going to crush her through that entire unit. And then I roll Snake Eyes on the second one. It's like, that sucks.
I usually am artilleristing to try and deviate away from the Bane Knights, and like I'll get a result that's like into the Bane Knights. No. I'll re-roll that. Deeper into the Bane Knights. No.
Yep. Happens. Well, those clouds are going to be a bit of a problem. I think he's just going to go for the envelop strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a good strong play from the Asphyxious player, like understanding this matchup, knowing how to deny real estate here. It gives him some space to move up into the zone, not get jammed out of it. Yeah.
Oh, Paul.
All right.
So let's check out table 3 and see if anything's happened there.
So over there we've got Tommy with Morvana 2 versus Michael with Runes of War.
There's so much beef.
It is a lot of beef.
And there's just a perfectly positioned water feature.
Yeah, right? Doomy's loving
That's
it.
the stuff of dreams.
Doomy's
right there.
loving it. Yeah, so and just the conga line of walls there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to be rough to break through for the Morvana player, for Tommy.
No, I think what he's going to probably be looking for here is bait the war beasts to come in and do some damage and then try and swarm them after they do. But
Sure, absolutely.
it's tough because he's probably got a witch dock in the back there. Yeah, I see one actually. I see
Yeah.
witch doctor. So that'll that'll turn off the snacking RFP, which is the only RFP available to trolls.
Yeah.
But he can't. Does he have 2 witch doctors? Otherwise, he can't do it to both units. I only see one, I think.
I will double check his list and let you know.
So, between the blood trackers and the ravagers, you're only going to be able to get one of them protected from snacking. The other one's going to have to probably be protected by just.
He has one Gatorman Witch Doctor.
The other one's going to have to be protected then just by being far enough
by
away.
positioning. Yeah. So he's got Druids, Blood Trackers, and Ravagers. Those are his 3 units here.
Yeah. And then I'm fairly confident that black proxy base north of the Earthborn is Mulg.
Is Mulg, I would imagine, because I don't see Mulg anywhere else. So.
Yeah. Because it looks like we got a Mauler Extreme,
Yeah,
Earthborn, and Mulg. So yeah, he's going to be looking for. And the other thing too is you have to be careful with your. Doomshaper has to play such a cautious game, but if he can potentially come out and get a Warp Wolf with Rampager, he might go for it. It's going to be tough because they're stealth from Fog of War.
What do you see? Maybe the Morvana player's strategy here is just to kind of kind of move forward, get gummed up, stuff dies, and then she feeds it back into the backfield and just kind of tries to bring down Doomy that way. Do you see that as maybe the overall
Yeah, I think
strategy?
Tommy is going to want to try and like I said, bait one or more of the war beasts to come in and try and like really do some damage against the
Right.
infantry,
Right.
and then hopefully kill them and feed most of the damages, most of the wound, most of the damage he took back onto the table.
Right.
And he's got his Ravagers behind the Blood Trackers, so they're going to obviously be the second wave. They're going to be the counter punchers, and they're really good at that too.
Yeah,
They
very
charge
true.
at def 15 or at
POW
POW
15.
plus strength 15.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. With
and then
rerolls available.
Blood Trackers also just by themselves, like they can ding up troll heavy like
Absolutely.
pretty good.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know what their prey is. I'm guessing Mulg.
That'd be a good guess. Is it possible to find out what prey is for this table?
I see the token here, but it's not really next to anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see the token there on the upper right next to the wall. But
Yeah.
maybe it was just a
could be.
RuneShaper unit.
I was gonna say,
I
it
feel
could-
that would be a mistake.
Could also be the Mauler, and then the Mauler moved, and the token didn't
Yeah,
get
that
moved
could
with
be
it
as well.
Yeah. So it is the Mauler that is prayed. So,
Okay. Yep. And we
Yeah.
see the token just got moved as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and some of the questions people are asking too are purification from Morvana is actually pretty good against the troll armor brick,
buffs. Yeah.
just due to
Yeah.
the fact that she can always purify. You're never really going to be able to guarantee that Mulg or the Mauler are going to be armor more than 20.
Right.
Well, Mulg, I mean 20 or 21.
Right.
Um,
They'll never have you. You can never guarantee they have more than the Creel Stone armor
Right,
buff.
right.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's going to really want to protect. I mean, he might actually that might push him towards maybe if he's gonna chomp on the bait with anything, maybe do it with the Earthborn because then he can protect. The Earthborn's always going to be armor 22,
Right.
and the Animus is also not as valuable in this matchup as it is in most of the. I mean, usually that's the one that you want to protect the most.
Right.
But in this matchup, with you being able to just purify it away, it might be a little bit more expendable.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Okay, so while they're continuing to position, we're going to check in at table 2. Again, this is Wout with Haley 2 and Jamie P with Butcher 3. We can see they're getting to it.
wow, Jamie got up there.
Yeah. Must have Energizer and run.
Yeah, a couple times probably. Yeah, this looks like a turn. This looks like a turn 3, at least.
It's interesting how much of a kind of refused flank sort of situation we have going on here.
Yeah.
The whole bottom of the table has very little action to it.
Right.
Yeah, we've got Storm Lances into Black Dragons, it looks like here. So we'll have to see how much damage they can do.
They can do a lot of damage, actually.
Yeah. Well, and the Black Dragons aren't in Shield Wall. So their Electro Leaps may actually do some work. Oh, they're also attacking that front Juggernaut as well. I'll double check with the... Oh, no, we know. It's Fuel Cache and for Jamie P., the Kador player.
And Valor.
And Valor for the Wout, the Haley player.
And you can see that he did pop his feet. There is a feet token down there
Okay,
for
yeah,
Haley.
yeah,
So it's not going to be much of a retaliation from Jamie.
yeah. The now much reduced feet.
It's interesting to note,
Yeah.
though, too. I mean, Butcher, even on Haley's feet, he can actually still do a surprisingly good amount of work. With he can. I don't know. I mean, I assume he's not going to trigger Vengeance, but if you do, Vengeance, Energizer, Walk, he can sacrifice his action to walk, and then he can still make attacks with Flashing Blade.
Yeah,
So-
very true. Very true.
And drag stuff in, and pending. Yeah, I mean, Butcher is actually he's relatively unimpeded by
By her feet.
Haley's feet. It
Yeah,
just
that's a
stops
good
him
point.
from
That's a good
charging
point. It's a very
And-
good point.
and gets one attack off of him, I guess.
Yeah.
So he's probably still going to be out of range of Stormwall, of being able to get to Stormwall.
I would imagine.
But I'm assuming that's what Butcher is gearing up to do. He's
go
probably
in on
got
Stormwall.
yeah. He's probably putting Stormwall on the bit the entire game. Just
Yeah. I got you.
I'm
I
coming,
got you.
coming for you, buddy. Oh, he's probably. Oh, that's. I forgot too. Yeah, Ruin's got Dispel on his weapon too, so he's going to want to get Ruin there too.
Get the arcane shield off there.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like gun mages are activating. I think they're maybe going to try and push this Juggernaut around.
So hard for Kato to keep a foot in this zone.
Yeah.
Domination, TK,
It's just
Thunderbolt.
You always laugh when you're playing gun mages against Kador and you roll like that 3 on the Thunderbolt.
And you're like, two turns, or
that's like a whole turn to walk in.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Yeah.
Terrible. Poor Kador.
Poor Kador. All right, we're going to check in on table 1 real quick. Again, this is Lawrence with Raven versus Dan with Harbinger. Okay.
Oh, he's deep up in the table too.
Yeah. But we do see how far Harby is back, right?
That's true. Yeah,
Like,
that's true. Yeah. With almost a perfect ring around
yeah,
her.
absolutely.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't kill these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And it makes sense. Playing against Raven, she has to fear for her life.
Yeah.
So.
Ventures are pretty good in this matchup, actually.
Are they? I was actually wondering about that. I was going to ask you about that when we were looking at the table earlier, and I didn't get around. Oh, here she comes.
Oh, wow.
My goodness. Has she not feated yet? Then?
This has got
to be her feet turn. But even so.
No, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. There's the feet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. As soon as he walked up, yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We know it's coming. We know it's coming.
Yeah, it has
All
to be. Has to be.
Interesting, though, that he did not feat turn 1, which is a pretty popular Harbinger move. I
Yeah.
think it's better to do this. I think
To delay it a little bit, yeah.
Because now he's going to be able to basically get 2 turns of work out of those Vengers.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to charge in with the Vengers. They're going to be held back from much retaliation with the feet, and then and the Vengers, like I said, they're pretty good in this matchup. Into that, like, it's a lot of POW 10 shooting. The CRA is a little bit of a worry. The Halberdiers can certainly kill them if they can get to them, but they go up to armor 19, I believe, with battle driven.
Okay.
So it's going to be pretty tough for the Mage Hunters, at least, and the Riflemen to.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Harvey's feet quite strong against lists like this with so many single wound infantry. Take a look real quick at what his battle group looks like. It's just Moros is the battle group. And that's what I thought that was. I couldn't quite tell the Jack, but
Yeah, I forget what he does. He's got paralysis.
he's got
on
a
the
paralysis
gun.
on his gun.
He's stealth.
And he's stealth and he has Mirage. Let me see if there's anything else.
He's stealth as long
particularly-
as his shield is
Right.
his field. I mean. It's so tough when you're playing this. When you're playing such a massive infantry swarm against Harbinger's feet,
Yeah.
and you just okay. I guess I'll just back up an inch, go again.
Yeah. Yeah, he has stealth while he has his field dependent. He's duelist, has paralysis on his gun, and grievous wounds on his blades. That gun is range 8, POW 12.
Yeah, I mean, he's still got he's got more guns than most lists, so he can still do a decent amount of work on this turn, I think. It's just whether or not the problem is, balancing between doing work and then not giving up too much scenario zone, which I don't think he's on, honestly. I think the scenario zone at this point is you can't get in there. If you're not in there by the time she drops her feet.
Right, then you're locked out.
So it looks like all he's got is Moros just towing in. And then a Veil of Mists in front of him, looks like.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure that's a Veil of Mists from Raven. All right, we're going to go check back in on table 4. Again, that's Dirk with Butcher 2 versus Paul with Gaspy 2. Asphyxias 2, sorry. Okay, so there's a lot less Doom Reavers.
There's still a,
There's still
a
quite
lot
a
of.
few.
Actually, I think there's still just as many Doom Reavers.
Are there? It's
Yeah.
a little hard to separate whose is
I
whose
mean,
now.
they're just spread out much
Yeah.
more massively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got the. He's holding the Crick's arm. He's holding the undead swarm back with
He is.
a paltry
With
few
a,
Doom Reavers.
with a line of Doom Reavers.
But they're doing the job right now, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where I assume things are going to start.
Swinging back towards the Crix players.
Well, maybe, or even he's gonna be able to start digging in.
Okay. Sure.
He's got to really commit a lot of stuff to that zone though, in order to keep it from getting cleared out.
The Butcher player?
No, the Crix player.
Oh, sure, sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure the Crix player can take care of that. Even that one Doom Reaver in the back of the zone.
In the back of the zone.
They don't have any ranged attacks. I mean, it's purges.
Right.
Purges. The
Right.
only
Yep.
ranged
Yeah, very true.
They have sprays as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Try to get that rat 3. But I mean, Paul is a very good player, so he might figure something out.
Yeah, I'm still visually trying to unpack exactly.
I'm curious
What
whether he's
I'm looking
activated
at.
Tartarus or not yet. He could potentially get like 3 Banes from Tartarus in the bottom there.
Okay. That is
Seen it.
Tartarus right there.
I believe
Okay.
that is Tartarus
That's what I
on
was trying. That was a model I was trying to figure out. So we're talking about the medium-based model on the bottom half of the screen, right, basically under Paul's head right now. I believe that is Tartarus. So the Necrosurgeon? No.
No, that's a Warwitch Siren.
Yeah, okay. That probably won't hit.
Paul's dice not the best right now. I'm not sure what he was doing there, actually.
I'm not sure either. He's trying to remove that Doom Reaver, obviously, but
Yeah, do you see what I mean here? I think Tartarus could walk around, like up and over. He could walk up and around this Bane Knight and then turn around and thresh all 3 of those.
sure.
Probably, that looks like that might be 2 or maybe even all 3 of those guys might be in different units. But even so, making 3 Banes is certainly,
It's not.
it's a good use of Tartarus
Yeah, it absolutely is a good use of Tartarus.
before he dies.
Yeah.
Considering you're killing roughly 3 points and then making roughly 3 points, it's like a 6-point swing.
Yeah, for sure.
Also clearing the line for those Banes to be able to dig in a little bit deeper.
I just realized there's an awful lot of Doom Reavers up at the very top of the screen, kind of halfway off of it.
Yeah.
Looks like there's almost a full unit up there. That flanking very, very hard around that forest,
Yep.
which is kind of surprising.
Yep. Yeah, I'm curious whether that. I'm curious how that plays out. Like, I feel like a more conventional play would maybe be to consolidate towards the scenario areas.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not willing to call it a mistake.
No,
I mean,
not by
certainly
any
he-
means. He may have.
yeah.
He could very well have a plan that we don't see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Particularly just given that keeping your bodies like relatively compact around the butcher area so as to make the best use of his feet.
He just moved the Biothrall up for what I assume is going to be a pretty good purge.
Yeah. Looks like he gets 3 to 4 models, 3 to 4 guys here with his purge.
Easily 4, maybe 5.
Probably put some damage on the objective too. Maybe put
Yeah.
some damage on the objective. Well, weren't sure he could get that model in the back of the zone. It looks like he's going to with his purge.
Yeah, that's true. I thought the bane thralls, or I thought the bile thralls had already activated.
Yeah.
I guess so. If that's the case, then maybe the Crix player. We might be able to see the Crix player clear the zone. We might be able to see Paul clear the zone. I don't know.
Depends on, is this,
He might. He might. I mean, it's going to be tough to clear the objective too. I guess.
what's the heavy in the zone? That's what I'm trying
It's
to
his
make
only
it.
heavy, rather. So it's a berserker.
Oh, right, the Berserker. Yeah. So it's interesting. He moved up to Purge, but we haven't seen it happen yet. Okay, I think here we go. Yeah, it looks like does get
Yep.
Fenris.
Clips Fenris. Does not clip the objective. Jack is out, he said. And then Dreamweaver, they're trying to decide right now. Neither of them have a 6-inch measuring widget. So
Yeah. Go see John Damaris.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So I think it was out.
I believe it was out, yeah. All right, so it looks like wiped out four Doom Reavers. Dealt decent damage to Fenris if that was the roll on Fenris.
Fenris is pretty tough to kill with just about 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Fenris is tough to kill with a lot of different things. So I have to see. Not sure exactly what he has yet to activate. I don't know if the Texas Raiders still have to go down here. And the Bane Thralls. I'm not sure if they have activated yet either.
Yeah, I assume he's still got the majority of his army to activate as well. Also, it's interesting to note the position of Butcher right now, who looks like he's trying to get to that flag.
Yeah. Which may be why those Doom Reavers flanked as hard as they did in an attempt to clear stuff behind the forest.
Or at least
so
to push things away.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like even on the other tables, there's a lot of control feats being popped, a lot of kind of waiting for things to happen. So that's why we are not bringing you anything more action-packed than this at the moment.
All the they simultaneously popped all the control feats, and now the entire tables are just waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll give you guys a little quick run through table 1 through table 5 here, just to get a bird's eye view of what's happening right at the moment. All right, so table 1 is Lawrence Raven versus Dan Harbinger. We last left this with Harbinger moving up and popping her feet. Looks like the table looks very similar to what it did before.
Yeah, it looks like some of the riflemen maybe repositioned a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like they're staying put, backing up a little bit.
They're going to take some shots, and those shots are going to get martyred.
Right. That seems like
The ones that can.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, uh, might do a tiny bit of damage here to this Venator's unit, maybe. He should be probably doing his best to shoot the farthest outside models that he can, but. All right. So table 2, again, this is Wout with Haley 2 versus Jamie P with Butcher 3. Haley has popped her feet here. When last we left, those Storm Knights were over there banging up some Jacks and some Blood Dragons. Or Black Dragons, sorry. Black Dragons. And Gun Mages were being nuisances, thunderbolting around the Jacks in the zone. Looks like Jamie's just kind of getting stuff into the zone, getting it where it can threaten, where Ruin can threaten the Storm Wall.
Positioning Butcher to get
Positioning Butcher to get on Storm Wall as well. So this is mostly just a turn of positioning for Jamie here.
Yeah, Butcher is almost certainly not going to spend any focus.
I would be surprised.
Yep, yeah, and he doesn't.
And there goes the War Dog charging.
Get in there, doggy.
He hit, apparently. Wow. That's a mean bite.
Good boy.
Yeah. And return.
I mean, that's the kind of work you want to do on Haley's feed turn.
That is the kind of work you want to do on Haley's return. Good dog. Good
Kill
dog.
a single model.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so now we're going to take a look real quick at Table 3. This is, again, Tommy with Morvana 2 versus Michael with Runes of War. When last we left this, we were discussing Morvana 2 and her ability to kind of outflank and break up this Beast Brick, hopefully enticing one of the heavies to come out and play. It does not currently appear that any of the heavies have come out to play.
Yeah. Yeah, and he just walked up and tremored, knocking down. Oh, maybe that was a crit, actually. Yeah, it was a crit.
Yep. Crit Rockhammer.
That's good. That's good.
It's a good throw. Nice chuck.
I'm curious how he got. I'm curious how he got around counter magic. Does he have? He has druids in that Morvana list, right?
Yes, he does have druids in the Morvana list.
The Morvana 2 list, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. He has druids in this list.
Yeah. Counter
Perhaps
magic
he
is
didn't
pretty
counter
tough
magic,
on,
yeah.
Rune Shapers.
On Rune Shapers, yeah. That was a good question. I'm looking for the druids that are left, though. Perhaps he managed to kill several of them and reduce the range on counter magic. Still.
Maybe some long drifts outside of the counter magic or area and into the, and he got some lucky.
Or it's possible Tommy made a mistake and just didn't put up counter magic.
Yeah, that'd be a big mistake.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take a look at Table 5 real quick. Again, this is Klaus with Denegro 1 versus Brett with Morvana 1. This is, again, that shooting into implacable cloud wall situation.
Cloud wall seems to have dispersed quite a bit.
It is. There's definitely some gaps here in the cloud wall. And that may just be, we can see that Klaus has flanked very hard. Like, he's got models spread all across the table.
Yeah.
And Morvana is certainly bricked up and backed up.
Yeah, the objective is also blocking a lot of line of sight.
That's true. That's definitely another notch in the cloud wall there. So.
Something else that's kind of funny to note is if he does go for like a Scourge on Morvana and she's surrounded herself with a lot of dudes like she has, then you can a lot of the times like gain a bunch of fury from Harvest.
Oh, yeah,
to
sure.
transfer away.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Trying to shoot.
Druids, engage druids in clouds, and
Not the best.
yeah, even apparently he's feated, so
Yeah, Denegris defeated, and then he's kind of expressing some consternation over not being able to.
to hit anyway, which first world Crix problems, but
I'm still curious what the Devil Shadow Mutineer did.
yeah, unfortunately, it's too difficult to locate the
Yeah.
specific models
I
on
mean,
the table.
probably nothing because of Witch Doctor, but
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like the Witch Doctor's still there in that Swamp Gobber Cloud. So yeah, we have on these tables successively, we have a Harbinger feat, a Haley 2 feat, Denny 1 feat. Lots of intensive action on those turns.
yeah. Oh, it was pointed out in the chat too that Harvest is enemy models only, so I was wrong about that.
Oh, okay. Booyah.
I challenge anyone else to pretend like they know every single thing about this game. There's a lot of stuff in this game.
There is
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
if
stuff
you
in
knew
this
that or
game.
not.
I did know there was
There's
a lot of stuff in this game. That's what I use you for. I'm not going to learn it all.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, so we're getting a rough idea of where the Devil Shadow Mutineers are. There's one Mutineer left. Oh, okay. There's only one that we can find. It's back there by Denny's feet deck and near the trench. So,
Yeah, between the trench and the zone.
but hey, as long as there's one, there's the possibility that all three will be back. So, all right. So we're gonna check out different matchup here. We're gonna check out table 2 with Wout following up on his feet turn with Haley 2 here. So this is post positioning by Jamie P. Seeing what Haley can do here now that her feet is gone. Looks like Storm.
Haley doesn't have an arc node in this list, I'm assuming, because it's a Stormwall list.
I believe she does not, but I will double check.
So it's going to be tougher for her to dominate or TK the enemy models. Ruin, actually, he gets the reduced range, right?
To target him with spells. I
Yeah,
believe that's
yeah.
correct, yeah.
So it's going to be really hard to tag him with any spells to kind of just knock him out of the zone, but she's still got gun mages.
Yeah, he can still be
So-
thunderbolted all day long.
Yeah.
She has Deadeye to knock if she really wants to knock him down too.
I'm curious what he's going to do with his Stormwall. It looks like he might be thinking about bringing him in.
Yeah.
Maybe he thinks he can bring the Stormwall in and kill both of those Juggernauts. I still think that might be. I don't know. I think that's what Jamie P wants. I mean, he wants to get Butcher on the. I think it's clear that he wants to get Butcher on the
Butcher
Stormwall.
on the Stormwall because nobody else is super threatening to Butcher.
Right.
Yeah. So I think.
And we just saw a domination.
I think she just dominated the the Juggernaut to
Yep.
go bash on the other Juggernaut.
He did a
Yeah.
good amount of damage. It looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah. now that's a dominate.
Yeah, he got dominated.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
That's actually awesome. So now I would be really surprised if the Stormwall went in on that Juggernaut, just for the one.
Yeah, if the
I feel like the Stormwall, if it's going to go in, it's going to go after Butcher or Ruin. Like that's what it's going to be safe
yeah,
for.
I think that maybe just push the use the gun mages to just push those guys as far away as
Yeah.
possible. It's going to be tough, actually, now that that Juggernaut is engaged. I mean, not really tough, I guess. Def 8 in the butt, up to 12.
To push the Juggernaut?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you even care about the Juggernaut right now? He's turned away from the zone. He's out of the zone.
No, I guess not.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to be able to him. I mean, turning around, his facing actually is not that big of a deal because of Energizer.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
I don't think you want to be able to get the Juggernaut. I don't think you want to let the Juggernaut get on Stormwall for
Yeah,
free.
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it depends on if the gun mages can pull Ruin a far way out of the zone, or push Ruin a far way out of the zone. I don't know what you do about Butcher, though. I don't think the Stormwall can come forward. If the Stormwall was capable of killing both Ruin and the Juggernaut, maybe.
Yeah, if he could just have Butcher left, but
Yeah.
he's definitely going in with it. Yep, there he goes.
Okay. So he's going to have to figure out some way to keep Ruin, and
Well, I assume he's just going to push Ruin as far away as possible.
he's disrupting Ruin.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
turns out that's a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that did he just kill a puppy?
Maybe.
I'm not sure that triggers Vengeance, though. Because it's not an attack, right?
Well, let's read the actual rule here. Pull it up. If one or more models in a unit with Vengeance were destroyed or removed from play by enemy attacks during your opponent's last turn. And the Stormwall.
Stormpod is not an attack, it's just a damage roll.
Yeah, I think you're very right about that. I'm just going to double check you. Yeah, it is just a damage roll, so it should not trigger Vengeance.
Yeah.
So that was a free death to the puppy.
That's pretty good if you can get rid of those puppies.
And presumably disruption on Ruin.
Yeah. And then there was someone noted in the chat, too, that you can't disrupt the souls off of Ruin, which is kind of nice. I don't know if he has any.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be super relevant because as you
he's
can
still
see right now, he's going
pushed right out of the zone.
He's going to get pushed super far away.
Yeah. It's like gun mages are going to try and pick off some of these Widowmakers down here.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the counterplay right now is send Butcher and try and kill his
Stormwall.
and kill Stormwall and as many of the Storm Lances as you can. I don't know if the Storm Lances have activated yet. If they haven't, then it's going to be pretty bad time.
Because I feel like if they haven't, one of them is getting rocketed right into Butcher here.
Yeah. And is that Anastasia in front of
him? It
him?
is Anastasia, yeah.
So, ugh.
Yeah?
Ugh.
She hasn't activated
she
yet.
hasn't activated yet. That's
bad.
Bad times.
It's bad for Jamie.
And he's moving the Storm Lances now, so.
So, yeah. Yeah, this is not looking good for Jamie overall.
It's not. Although, how sweet is Butcher that
that's very true. That we're not just like, oh, he's out of this game.
That he still has a chance in this situation. I mean, he has a pretty good chance.
That's how good Butcher 3 is. Yeah.
So, I'm curious. Like, if he can kill Stormwall and like a couple of Storm Lances,
he's still in the game.
He's in a good.
It depends on what he can camp. Like, if he can do that and camp a bit through.
I mean, even if there's not, like, gun mages aren't going to, even if he's camping 0, gun mages aren't going to kill him.
I mean, that's true.
I guess if they get, like, lucky brutal damage.
They can be dead-eyed and do crit brutes.
Yeah, if they get some lucky brutal damage. But
yeah, maybe. And, like, if there's another Stormlance or whatnot they can charge, they could also Deadeye and Thunderbolt to knock him down so that the Stormlance. So there's some concern there. Like,
I don't know. It's not that bad, especially if he's camping. And that's if he's camping 0.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is like it depends. Like if he can camp 3 or so, he'll be pretty safe there.
No, I mean if Anastasia gets to go, then God help him.
Yeah. Is he did Anastasia go?
I guess we missed it. I don't know.
We, I mean, he has to, right?
Maybe we
Because he's
tuned-
reactivating them. Or maybe
Yeah.
maybe Anastasia went, and that was where those first shots came from.
Right.
And then she used her ability to back up.
To move up.
And that's why the Avengers only walked, was because they were doing her activation.
Yeah.
I bet
Sorry,
that's
guys,
exactly.
we missed out on that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Our apologies.
So we're too busy talking and staring into each other's eyes
Yeah. Caressing each other gently.
ever so softly.
Ever so. Yeah, this is not looking super great.
I mean, whenever Anastasia gets to go.
Yeah, it's pretty bad news. All right, so disrupted and black oiled is probably a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, because the souls aren't going to... You can't shake it now.
That's pretty bad. I don't know if he got disrupted, though.
Yeah, I wasn't positive if he did or not, but I think he did. All right, so we're going to switch off of here. We'll come back maybe when Jamie P is activating if Butcher makes a run.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing that.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so we're on, this is table 1 with Raven versus Harbinger. Reckoner is jammed pretty deep in there.
Yeah, the Reckoner and Avengers got all up on.
Avengers got in there pretty deep as well. This looks like Raven still has a good number of infantry left, however. Harvey has backed off to the water out of the trench now that her feet turn has passed by.
She's still camping a deep stack.
Yeah, she's got a deep stack, I think, which is relevant-ish.
Yeah, I mean, if there's only 3 Strike Force left, which it looks like, I mean, I can only see 3.
There's a bunch of Strike Force down here at the very bottom.
Yeah, they're very far away.
Yeah. I don't know if Raven's popped her feet already. I would assume, but he may be saving it for an assassination run, so... Is there any chance we can check on whether or not Raven has popped her feet this game? And we are seeing...
We're resolving Avenger charges right now, actually.
Obviously, the Avengers, as you said, she used her feet to give the Avengers the ability to kind of hit twice. And that's sort of the baseline of whether or not cavalry are worth it, right? Like, if they get to hit twice, they're worth it.
Yeah, we're doing it. There's a couple of attacks resolving off the table right now. I think he just...
They're checking on command checks right now.
I think did he just get Iris or not? Can we check to see if he just got Iris? He was making some charge attacks on. There's Avenger attacking some models that are sort of off the camera right now.
All right, so that's the end of his turn. Looks like his jacks jammed up there are enlivened.
And yeah, so he did kill Iris.
Iris
right.
3 has been removed.
Yeah. So there's Avenger off screen just above the camera
Yeah.
that charged at Iris and impact attacked a couple of Strike Force. So I'm curious to see whether or not he goes for this. It doesn't. I don't see a great assassination. With Veil of Mists, he can somewhat avoid free strikes and get a little unengaged.
True.
But that's not going to cover his entire army. That's
No.
not going to cover a small area.
Yeah.
So if he casts Veil of Mist anywhere, I assume it's probably going to be sort of between the Reckoner and that Venger,
Yeah, sure.
and then have just those guys walk forward and.
Yeah, very, very possible.
But then also those. It looks like several of those are just halberdiers.
They're
and-
halberdiers or Like at best, riflemen, obviously. And when she's camping that big a stack, the riflemen are much less of a
Yeah,
a
they're only
threat.
going to get one big attack with their
Right,
CRA.
right. And of course, we don't know exactly. I'm trying to see if Harvey's card. There's Harvey's card. It looks like she has about 8 boxes remaining. So,
It's a healthy amount of martyrdom.
yeah. But also, one lucky shot capable of taking her out at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like 10 to me. But still.
Yeah, you might be right. It might be 10.
If even one Mage Hunter can get to her,
Yeah.
well, it'd probably take 2 Mage Hunters to get to her, but
Yeah, that's. I'm quite interested. I'm going to assume that she's already popped her feet, but if she still had it in reserve, the guys down here at the bottom might be a danger.
yeah. Well, the Mage Hunters at the top, again, they could get freed up with Veil
With
of
Veil of
Mists, and
Mists,
then they
yeah.
could walk forward and snipe
Yeah.
feet go. 3
Yeah.
Mage Hunters could do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There could be a couple off camera too that we're missing even. If there's like 5 Mage Hunters up there, I would
Yeah.
expect that Harbinger wouldn't have put herself in that position though.
No, I wouldn't think so.
So
I'm assuming there's fewer to that side than this side, and that's why she's moved towards the top
Yeah,
as
that would
opposed
make
to the
sense,
bottom.
yeah.
Yeah. Although it's surprising a bit that she abandoned the trench, that cover.
yeah,
How many? Okay, so there is a full unit plus UA of Mage Hunters at the bottom of that screen. A lot of Mage Hunters still left.
so what's at the top? Is that another unit of Mage Hunters?
Yeah, she does have 2 units of Mage Hunters.
Okay, so that's the one.
that was
without
the one that had Iris versus the.
Oh.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I'm surprised we saw him just move in with them to do some CMAs against the Avenger.
Yeah.
Did a couple of points of damage, triggered Battle Driven on them. I'm surprised he didn't go with the Veil of Mists.
Yeah.
Does that do what I think it does?
It allows you to move through your own models, and I believe you ignore free strikes. So I will double check it, but I think that you are correct. And I will say, as a player that has a caster with Veil of Mists, that it comes up rarely enough. Sometimes you just simply forget it. You forget.
That's true.
You forget about it.
That's true. I assume the score is 0 or is 1 point in favor of Menoth at this point, given that the objective is destroyed. But I don't think it looks like Moros left the zone.
Ever left the zone? Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with you. That does seem likely. Game Pathfinder can move through obstructions and other models if they have enough movement to move completely past them. Oh no, they do take free strikes still.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
I'm just getting rules left and
Yeah,
right wrong today.
yeah. Well, you're bound to run into a...
Well, I mean, nobody cast Veil of Mists.
Exactly.
There's a reason why.
Yeah, because it doesn't
'Cause
ignore
it's-
free
'cause it's a
strikes.
terrible
It's
spell.
terrible. Yeah.
That explains why he didn't go with that plan.
Yeah, absolutely. Good call, Lawrence, on not doing something illegal. All right, so we are going to switch back to Jamie P. And Wout, because Butcher 3 is charging.
Into the storm wall.
Here we
Here we go,
go.
baby. And we just got confirmation as well that Harbinger has 1 control point in the game that we just switched out from.
Yeah.
So let's see how Jamie P does here with
All right.
Butcher. He's got to get Anastasia as well, although I don't think that's going to be as much of a problem anymore.
No, I. Unless he just has some epically bad dice.
Yeah, or maybe he just says screw it and forget about her.
Yeah, that's also true.
But yeah, I assume he positioned himself there so that he's getting flashing blades on Anastasia and Storm Wall, but not the Juggernaut.
That would be my guess.
Otherwise, it's just going to be bot attacks.
Yeah. Flashing Blade is not is enemy only. You ignore.
What?
Yeah, it's really good.
What a good spell.
It's a really good spell.
That's a really good spell.
Yeah. It's the best
I
thresher.
want that spell.
It's good. It's good.
Madrak 3 should have that spell.
He's dead, Chad.
You're not a believer.
I don't believe he's dead. Privateer Press doesn't do that. I do believe the Stormwall might be dead.
Can we get confirmation on the point totals in the Kador Signar game?
I'm assuming it's 1-0 Haley, right?
I mean, I think she cleared the zone.
Oh, yeah, she might have. Yeah, that's fair. Is she in the zone? She's not. So maybe
No,
it's,
she's way far away.
So it might be 2-0 Haley.
$2-0 for the Signar player
Okay.
was our.
Yeah. Very good.
Yep, so we just got confirmation. 2-0 for the Signar player. He was able to clear the zone. Haley did not dominate. Well, she didn't dominate the zone.
No.
Some domination did happen.
She did dominate that Juggernaut.
She dominated 2 Juggernauts with 1 spell.
With 1 spell. It was pretty excellent. All right, Tanook. What does a sunken pirate ship
What have you done?
and this storm wall have in common? They're both wrecks. ER.
Half the people just closed their Twitch clients. stream numbers plummet.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh, we even got a yar from Clint there. Good job. Yep. Yeah. Happy National Talk Like a Pirate Day,
Indeed.
everybody. Yeah.
International Talk.
I'm sorry, international.
International
Yeah,
Talk
true.
Like a
That's
Pirate
true.
Day. Yeah, John is loving life today, for those of you who know John.
Any Muse on Minis fans out there? We apologize for anyone that's not a Muse on Minis fan. It's probably better off that way.
Yeah,
It's probably.
yeah.
That was bad, and you should feel bad.
We got somebody quitting the internet because of me. Fantastic. Feed me, make me stronger.
I'm unsure what the contention is right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out as well. It's something Gorman related, I believe. I think it's about whether or not he has line of sight to Gorman so that his flashing blade was able to attack him. Oh, impending doom is happening.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So did he impending
could-
doom
yeah, of
and
course.
then Energizer for one? So he
Yep,
can
so
turn
he could turn to face
everything? Yeah, okay.
And now he's going to just flashing blade to beat
Okay.
Jesus out of all that.
Yep. But
God, Butcher is awesome.
he's really awesome. He is really awesome.
Oh man, what a guy.
Dun dun. Dun dun.
There's no Helldiver on this table.
No, but Ruin is getting Energizered for one. JVP picked not stream approved dice. So-
Hey, game science dice are legit. They're straight edged, Joss.
well, they may be,
They're
but
not rounded.
I
They're
sure
for
I
more-
sure can't tell what
for
they
more
say.
accuracy.
They could literally say anything.
JVP's trustworthy.
Oh, I'm sure his opponent can see it. We just can't on the stream.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he killed literally everything. Man, Butcher is a bad man. He is a bad man.
Let's see how quickly he can kill Stormwall
Yeah.
after his feat, because that might determine everything, I
Yeah.
guess.
All right, so we can see Stormwall's grid right here. Still looking relatively healthy. So we're talking about the feat. And I don't think He wasn't able to avoid the fact. I'm sure Stormwall has Arcane Shield on. So
Yeah. It's tough
All
to
right.
read these dice, but yeah, it looks like Stormwall's about half dead.
so here is the feat.
So let's see how quickly he can kill him now.
Yeah.
7 to the 3. It's a pretty good roll. So now he's officially killed you half
Yeah.
of the Stormwall.
So yeah.
I'd say he probably wants to kind of comfortably camp 2.
I would
I
imagine
think
he
that
wants
that's a
to camp.
tall order at
I
this
think he
point.
wants to camp too, but yeah, we will see.
That looked like a good roll, though. You guys just don't know how to read game science dice. Like, I got this covered. That was a 1, a 3, and a 4.
All right, he's got 13 boxes left, so he is going to have to roll high
Yeah.
here to camp 2.
Yeah, another low below average.
Yep.
That was 224.
Yep.
So I mean, he's got to kill this thing.
yeah, he has to kill it. So the question is, will he be able to camp anything?
Yeah, he's going to definitely camp 0.
Yep, camping 0.
This
This gives Haley a real chance to kill him.
It does. It's still tough.
He's 14, 18 base.
Killed him with the last focus.
Is that correct, Chad? Is he 14,
14.
18?
That's correct. 14,
Okay.
18. Yep.
With 18 boxes, 19 boxes?
20.
It's 20. Okay. Okay. All right. Well,
He has a real chance to clear the zone too. If Ruin can get in there.
Well, Ruin's disrupted in Black Oil.
Does
so
he have any feet? Oh, he's also
yeah.
Forgot about the black oil.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haley does have a real chance at killing Butcher. I'm just trying to determine what.
What the best course of action for
So
her
probably,
to
I
do
mean,
that
crit brutal damage is going to be.
is going to be a key part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's going to TK him to get him turned backwards.
Maybe a couple of boosted arcane bolts,
Yeah, very possibly.
and then her boosted hand cannon.
And then her boosted hand cannon. Junior's boosted hand cannon. And then Crypt Brutes. And then maybe she can figure out with TKs a way to get that Venger
I
over
think
there.
that might be
or
allocating
that
too many
Stormlance.
resources to the Stormlance, where you can just use those to boost like your
No, for sure.
your
It
main
may. I
cannons.
think you very well may be right.
Yeah, I could easily see of this. I could easily have seen this going a little bit more towards Jamie in Jamie P's favor if his dice had been a little bit. I'm not saying that he got dice screwed. They were slightly below average, I would say.
On the Stormwall?
Yeah. on
Yeah,
the
if
Stormwall.
if he's camping up to 20, armor 20, a lot harder.
a
here.
lot harder.
Yeah. And it's still not like a gimme by any
Nope.
stretch of the imagination.
I'd say it's probably worse than a coin flip.
You think it's worse than the corn flip?
I think so. But Haley's coming forward
Yeah.
to do it, so it's now or never. If she doesn't kill him this turn, I have a tough time seeing her living.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is what the game is all about right here.
Yeah, so she's definitely going for
So
it.
I think she's TKing. Maybe not. Maybe this is just boosted Arcane Bolt. That was a very low roll. So like
Yeah,
1
like
point
two-
to Butcher,
two
1 to
damage.
2 points to
Two
Butcher. Yeah.
damage. Oh, she's dominating the Juggernaut. Boosh.
Come on, Juggies. I think he
That's
missed. I think he missed. That would have been amazing.
That would have been incredible. Domination for the win.
Yeah. All right, she put Deadeye out on the gun mages.
Yeah, he's trying to get some free damage onto the Gobber Tinker. It looks like just trying to shoot it with.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just kind of the incidental stuff. I mean, this is like, this is where as a spectator, you're just kind of like, go for it, just go for it, see if you do it. And if you don't, like,
Then
screw it.
yeah, forget it.
Because all this incidental stuff is not going to matter.
It doesn't really matter. Yeah.
But
Actually, Haley herself did so little
to be
damage
fair,
to
too-
Butcher. I think she's pretty far. Oh no, just like another point or two. Onto
yeah, she was shooting Butcher. Yeah. I don't know why I thought
Yeah.
line of sight was blocked there, but
Yeah.
well, whatever.
Well, he's gone to hell too. So. But Yeah, all right, so here they all go. I assume it's all just going to be crit brutes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep. First shot, crit brute.
And
3 damage.
3 damage.
He shield guarded it with the Mad Dog.
Yeah. I don't. That doesn't even hit. I don't think.
Correct.
Apparently it did hit. Dealt some damage. Hit. No critical. Nothing. Hit and critical.
Snakes.
Triple ones. Two more
Another
points.
2.
So it looks like Butcher's down to about his last 10.
Hit, no crit.
No
Nothing.
damage.
Another trips.
Another trip ones. $11 boxes left on Butcher. If that hit, it's critical. All right, so here comes Junior. He needs to do at least 10
He's
so
gotta
that
do
Iris can do 1. That'll hit.
He's got to do some work here.
All right, big roll. Big roll.
This is it.
Uh,
Decent.
yeah. 11 deal like
Leaves him with
4,
6.
6 boxes. All right, what do we got over here? Is that
That's a Stormblade captain. He's got like a POW 14.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So here it is off 4.
Off 4.
Oh, not good. He's still got 4 damage, I guess.
Yeah. So
there you
he's
go.
got 2 boxes
Or
left.
3 damage. 3 damage. Yeah. So three left. 3
All
left.
right. 3 damage. You just gotta hope Iris can. Iris hard
All
roll
right.
it.
Here we go. Here we go, Iris.
She hits. Hard roll that. He
That's
needs
not fate. Oh, he left him with 2.
Oh.
All right, and I think he's just
Yeah, he's just gonna go ahead and
he's
concede
straight
the game.
conceding there.
So
Yep.
close. So close.
So that's going to be 1 point for England.
1 point for England. Butcher 3 takes that match.
I'm surprised you're not rooting more for Belgium, more vocally here.
Haley 2 player was Belgium.
Yeah, I know.
Do you think I usually root for Haley 2?
There you go. We're gonna head over to table. We're gonna head over to table 5 now. See how that's going down.
Yeah. All right.
Surprisingly similar to the last time that we looked in.
Yeah. It appears once again Denny is trying to outflank those clouds.
These druids keep coming back.
I believe at this point that that Klaus is probably ready to pull his hair out.
Yeah, I don't know what you do against. I mean, he's just towed into the back of the zone there, like just making like.
Yeah.
This is the definition of grindhouse Warmachine here.
Well, this is why we thought Scar would be better for this matchup. Just get into the clouds.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just thinking back on that last game, yeah, there were a couple of trip ones on those gun mages. That was real close.
Yeah,
Butcher
it
coulda
was
died.
close.
I think Butcher could have seriously.
Yeah, I think Butcher could. It was at 2.
Yeah, maybe better than a coin flip.
Yeah.
There,
Well, there were a couple of shots up top that we
If
didn't
the
realize
Juggernaut
about. If the Juggernaut hit, it was game over.
done.
It was game over.
Dunzo.
Oh, that would have been so amazing.
Oh,
actually,
man.
dominated Juggernaut
It
kills.
might have been better to just go for that man cannon, the boosted hand.
I
cannon
think it
shot.
actually
Yeah.
statistically was because I think the Juggernaut has a
That's-
really poor chance of hitting. But
That's
it
not
has,
stylish at all.
it's not. He's Belgium. He's Belgian, so he went for the stylish win, and I salute him for it.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect
Yeah.
that.
Well, you're a stylish man.
All right.
All right, so right here what we see is some very fine manipulation around the clouds. I'm trying to figure out what he's bringing in.
Yeah. Mechanothralls?
It does look like Mechanothralls. This is always the kind of painful thing about playing against the Cloud Wall armies. It's like once you get into the cloud, like you're both like trying to move around and make it so the clouds can come up and go back
I
down, and
know.
it's just from an actual manual dexterity point,
And once you're at this point, you're just like, screw it. Just
yeah, pretty much. There's clouds here, I know.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Yep. So he's doing combo strikes on the objective right now. Just rolled a boxcars to kill it. He's still unlikely to clear the zone, so we're probably gonna.
We're gonna take a look in at somebody else until some of this clears up a little bit. So we're gonna go to table 4. Again, this is Dirk with Butcher 2, and Paul with Gaspy 2. All right, so
Has Gatsby already activated this turn?
are all the Doom Ravers at the top of this table still alive?
Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that heavy flanking maneuver we were talking about before is coming around to really threaten Gaspy here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Asphyxius is activated, and he has ended his turn there.
And that he put down one cloud
to kind of block off at least 2 charges from Doom Reavers, I think.
That is still pretty bad.
It still doesn't look great for him. I'm trying to figure out what he's camping right now. It's hard.
Looks like.
He probably does have Hellbound up.
He does have Hellbound, although you don't need to be charged with the Butcher.
With the Butcher's feet.
It's going to be tough for him to get rage tokens all the way over there. He's going to have to do some kind of like weird movement manipulation.
Can he get rage tokens by killing his own models?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, I didn't think so, but I didn't think so.
Yeah.
But I haven't played Butcher 2 in a very long time.
Yeah. So there's actually not that. The feat is actually going to be a little bit hard to. It's such a good feat if you can get the rage tokens built up, but like the due to the positioning of Butcher, like he's so far back.
Right.
I assume for respecting Gaspy's
feet. Assassination, absolutely.
But there's not that many models on that side of the table for him to actually trigger, because for him to get a rage token, he has to kill something has to kill a model in his control radius,
right.
And then he has to also be able to allocate it to another model in his control radius.
Yeah.
So it's going to be difficult for him to both collect rage tokens and then also be in a range to pass them out to the Doom Reavers in the very back there that are going to be able to get in.
Yeah.
But if he can, then he could potentially have the Doom Reavers just run through slog through that rough terrain from Hellbound, get near. They need to just get within 5 inches of Asphyxius, and then they can do their 3-inch walk and their free rage token attack, and then they 2 more attacks after that.
Yeah.
That could kill him easily. I mean, three Doom Reavers on him with a couple of boosted attacks and damage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that could kill him.
Absolutely.
I mean, 3 boosted attack and damage roll Weapon Master POW 13, so that'll
kill most casters.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and it looks like he doesn't. He was. Yeah, I think it shows good play on Paul's part that the area. I don't know. I guess if it was intentional or not, but I think it shows good play on Paul's part that the area immediately sort of around Butcher is just devoid of models
enemy models
for him to both get rage tokens on and then also use his homicidal maniac and his overtake, whatever. It's not actually overtake, but that he has to just be able to move around.
Surf and thresh. Yeah.
I think it's homicidal maniac.
I think it's homicidal maniac. I think you are right.
Yeah. But so I think that shows some awareness on Paul's part.
Absolutely.
I think this could still go either way for either player.
Absolutely. There are a significant number of Doom Reavers left. Obviously Gaspy hasn't popped his feet.
It seems like it's been a very. They're both very respectful of each
They
other.
are. There's a lot of open space between the lines.
Yeah, that is just a no man's zone in the middle.
Yeah.
And also, it's I think good to note too that Tartarus is still alive, but he's very far away from the action right now.
Yeah.
At least I assume this is Tartarus at the bottom.
At the very bottom.
Yeah, the medium base.
The medium base. I would assume as well. You can double check the list and see if it might be something else, but I don't know how I got on this page. You want to give us that? What is it? It's WT.
WMH-WTC.com.
You can follow all the action on there. Okay, so it looks like his medium base models are Tartarus and a Death Ripper and a Helldiver. And that's not a Death Ripper or a Helldiver as near as I can tell, so it must be Tartarus.
Yep. Yeah, just to update people, we are currently watching round 2 of the 2015 WTC. This is Team England, what are they?
Team England Lions
versus Team Belgian
Blonde.
England is currently up 1 point in the match. Jamie P was able to narrowly survive an assassination attempt by Haley 2 with his Butcher 3. And then the Haley 2 player promptly conceded because Haley was like 5 inches away from
Butcher. Yeah,
so,
on 0 cam.
Yeah, with nothing in between them. So
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Butcher has to be so careful if he decides to come forward for his feet to try and to try and make that assassination play. It's almost surely a death sentence for him.
Right.
I mean, it's an all or nothing play.
Right.
Yeah,
he needs to kill.
If he kills Gaspy,
yeah,
then he's good. But if he doesn't,
he's just dead to the feet. Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
super dead.
Absolutely.
I mean, he could even just be dead to just asphyxius.
Yeah.
Himself.
And I mean, right now it looks like he's just attempting to outflank with Doom Reavers so egregiously.
Literally 360 degrees
around Gaspy. So
yeah.
I think he's basically just going to put Gaspy in a situation where maybe Butcher doesn't need to come out for the feet. Maybe like he can just.
This is just such a. It's such a unique state.
Yeah.
You almost never see this.
Yeah, ever. Yeah.
I don't know if I was in Paul's place right now, I'd be annoyed as hell.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like I'm going, like he's reaching down to get his tape measure, and he's got to brush Doom Reavers. Aside,
Yeah, exactly. You know? Yeah, he is lousy with Doom
Yeah,
Reavers.
jeez.
I'm trying to figure out what the attacks he's making right now are. He's attacking into that.
Oh, he was berserking on top of there to kill out.
Oh, I see. I see that Doom Reaver there.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. It's actually kind of a pleasure watching Dirk play this list. Usually I see Butcher 2 players and they kind of just come at you. Like,
yeah, this is very methodical.
This is a very, very skilled way to play this game, I think. I think he recognizes, I mean, obviously, Asphyxius has got to be something that he's built this list to play into. And so I think he's recognized what he has to do. Typically, I just see them come in waves across the table, and he's developed a real strategy over the course of this game.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of to the point where I'm unsure what Asphyxius can do to kind of pull himself. What do you think? Is there? Because like with the X Carnate off with all the spells off the table.
Right.
Actually,
No. Yeah.
Just,
I mean, I initially thought that the Cloud plan was like a good plan to enable the Alpha to go Asphyxius' way, and that was a good plan for the early portion of the game. But the middle portion of the game, the way that that Dirk has played his waves, I think really may just overall favor Butcher 2.
It kind of comes down to the bile thralls, I think. But as we can see, I think I can see 4 bile thralls
still on the table here.
Still on the table, and I think most of them are on that hill.
Yes. I think I see at least 3.
He could get a couple of really decent purges with the way that the positioning is set up right now.
Sure.
I think. Like he could easily kill all of these Doom Reavers on the back edge of the table.
Side, yeah. Okay.
With the one
behind the objective.
Yep. With the one directly behind the objective, he turns that one directly around
and
just sprays directly towards Paul's side of the table. I think he could easily get those 6 guys.
Get several of those guys. Yeah. Yeah.
And that would be, that's certainly some value.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Also relieve some pressure off of Gatsby.
Yeah. So that's kind of and that's one of the weaknesses of the Doomshaper list is he has no ability to really like reach in and scalpel out those bile thralls. And they're going to be the biggest problem.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, he's charging in to kill Tartarus now. That's going to be pretty big if it happens. Yeah, I think there's Doom Reavers off the table on both sides.
I think there are.
Just Doom Reavers
Yeah.
everywhere. So many Doom Reavers.
Hey, Paul, where do you want to put your cards? No, I want Doom Reavers there.
Yeah. Did you move them?
Yeah.
I want to run some Doom Reavers over there. Don't move them there either.
Yeah, no, there's going to be some Doom Reavers there, yeah.
Just pick them up and hold them, actually.
Yeah, this is looking pretty bad for Gatsby. I think he may have to just engineer an attempt on Butcher's life here.
It's going to be tough, but not impossible.
Yeah, the wall is annoying.
Also, even though they are weapon masters, Butcher camping 6 is still
it's still a beast.
pretty tough.
Yeah,
Even for Crix, even with Parasite.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and he did kill Tartarus there.
Yes, he did.
Sorry, we
Yes, he
missed it,
did. Okay, we'll come back to this here in just a moment, but we're going to go check in Table 1, Lawrence versus Dan. Raven is feated, and these Mage Hunters are coming for Harbinger.
It looks like a Raven. You actually see Raven there. In the front of she's sort of leading the Mage Hunter pack at the bottom there. She's got the stack of focus next to her.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, from what we're hearing, that she was able to come down and between her Quick Work, Swift Hunter, Thresher, blah, 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 she was able to clear off a decent number of those Mage Hunters so that they can now start making this assassination run.
Yeah. So cleared them off, popped the feet, and now these Mage Hunters are going for it. Looks like Harby has healed up a little bit from the last time we checked in. So it looks like she's sitting on about 12 boxes right now.
Yeah, 12 or 13. So it'll be interesting, I guess. I mean, how many, with 13 at dice -4, you still need to get like 5 onto her. Like 3, or like 4 or 5,
Dice -4? Is that
Yeah,
what
it's
we're
about
looking?
3-ish per.
Per.
So
Okay.
you're still going to need to get, 5 and like have decently high, or decently average.
Yeah.
Average to high.
Right.
So I'm not sure. 5 on her might be a tall order. They have a 22-inch threat range with snipe.
Walk 7, shoot 12.
They're speed 6.
Oh, right. I always forget.
Yeah.
I always think that they're 7.
22-inch threat range, I believe. Shoot 16.
Shoot 16.
Yeah.
Okay. It's range 10 on their bows. Base range 10 on their bows.
12.
12. That's what I thought. Okay. Oh, it's set to 22. Yeah. Yeah.
We're actually still
We're still in Kalissa's activation.
We're
Appears
still,
she either Swift Huntered or maybe Vortex, but I didn't see a Vortex cast. So.
Regardless, I'm not sure that he has 5 Mage Hunters within 22
Yeah, well,
inches.
he's measuring right now, so we can see that's about 12 inches to there. So you're right. Like, I'm not sure that he does have 5.
I think maybe 3.
He's got at least 3, potentially 4. I think the 5th one is asking a lot.
Oh, and right now he's actually even just asking. He's like, "Can we just measure the straight 22? Because he's gonna go for it."
Yeah.
So
He
we can
only
see
has
there.
2.
He's just measuring 22. So what he's doing right now is he's just measuring straight 22 inches from Harbinger
Yeah.
to the Mage Hunters. This is to prevent any kind of
Weird, like you
It's
didn't
just,
move
it's just
a
to
full
ensure. It's just to ensure accuracy and
Yeah,
preciseness.
yeah.
And that's something that is relatively common, I would say. And I
Absolutely,
often
absolutely.
ask people to,
Absolutely. Yeah.
before they move their models.
If
hey,
you know the
can-
overall threat range,
Yeah.
it protects both players, really.
Yep,
Because you can
yeah.
frequently, when you're trying, like if your movement's 6, you're breaking up something so long into different measurements.
Right,
You
right,
can
right.
you can add or subtract a little bit quite easily.
So he's going to get 2 shots on Harbinger, which is probably not going to be. I mean,
Yeah, he needs to spike.
He can spike.
We also
huge.
don't know what else he's got left to activate on the table here. There may be some
Yeah.
free mage hunters at the top up there.
And he just rolled a 5 on his first damage roll. So
Okay.
and then he missed with his second shot actually.
Okay,
on
so she's
Harbinger, so
taking no damage. So she's probably just fine here.
It's not where you want to be
No,
if you're the rep player.
not at all.
He's got to try and do some serious. Oh, so did he just concede? Is that what just happened?
It sounds like probably Harby is winning on scenario on that flag would be my guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay,
Harbinger
Harbinger
won
won
on scenario,
Sorry.
5-0 on scenario,
Yep.
I believe.
So
So that is
that's,
2-0 for England.
Correct.
One more for England to take the match.
and that was Dan Cunningham.
Dan Cunningham
Yep.
did beat
Yep.
Lawrence. Yep.
Yep.
All right, we are back to the the Denny 1 Morvana table. Klaus and Brett here.
What is going on?
I have no clue. Where did all these clouds
Oh
from?
my God.
Which ones are which? I'm gonna guess some of them are like from a previous
Yeah,
turn, and
yeah.
then
That's why you always have 2 different colors.
two different colors. Yeah, for sure. Let's try and remove all the white ones now. I guess I don't know.
Mess.
This is a true mess.
This is why cloud walls are awful.
Yeah.
Not because they tremendously skew a meta.
Right,
Or
yeah,
A
yeah.
terrible slog to play
Yeah.
against. Oh, wow. He just had to make 2 frenzy checks on his Getorix and his Stalker, and they both passed.
That's big.
That is big. So he's upkeeping Harvest and Regrowth, and he's regrowing 2 Druids.
Surprise, surprise! The druids are back.
They're back. Oh. Who could have
Seriously.
seen this coming?
If I were Klaus, I would just want to hang myself right now.
So the next game in favor of England will clinch the match for England.
Yes,
In
that's
this
correct.
matchup.
That is correct.
Yep.
I think Klaus is just learning that that Lauren's lost the game.
Yeah. It's tough in these team tournaments when you're up against the wire like that.
Yeah,
And especially if the game is already kind of in a...
in a situation
In a
you don't
poor
feel
place.
strong about. Yeah,
I mean, it's
Although
tough.
it's really hard-
He's still
it's-
got a lot of models on the
it's
table.
super hard to tell who's. I don't know that anybody's particularly advantaged here. I
And you
think
can tell that you can see that Brett hasn't killed his objective or anything.
right,
so
exactly.
He's never scored.
He's
any
never scored a
points.
point. Yeah, because he certainly hasn't been on either one of those flags.
But I mean, this is like I said. This is the definition of grindhouse Warmachine. I'm guessing he's just kill a couple models, cloud up,
Yeah.
regrow, kill
Yeah.
a couple models, regrow, cloud up. You know,
yeah,
just
absolutely, absolutely.
just grind them down like
It's,
bit by bit by bit.
It's definitely a strong way to play the game. Not necessarily the most stream-friendly way to play the game.
It's not necessarily the most enjoyable
yeah,
to watch.
yeah, or to play against,
Unless you're
or maybe even to play.
well, I enjoy watching a good attrition match.
Yeah, sure, sure.
It's like a game of baseball, Josh.
Yeah, maybe.
I knew that would get you. I feel like we're gonna be stuck watching this game to the bitter, bitter, bitter end. So we're actually going to switch over to Doomshaper real quick and see how that game is going on. Doomshaper versus Morvana.
Another grindhouse style game.
I mean, we're gonna be these 2 games. I feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
we're gonna take
yeah,
these ones to the limit.
Yeah. Damn you, Morvanas.
Yeah, right.
All right, so Doomshaper has 3 control points to Morvana's 1 in this game. I am trying to find. All right, so we've got. Is that the Earthborn there in the zone? Yes.
Yep.
And
Probably Mulg with 5 Fury on him.
oh, that proxy base with all
Yeah.
the Fury canisters on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I mean, for all we know, Michael Dick doesn't even have a Mulg model. He just carries a proxy base everywhere, and
Damn it, Michael.
because I haven't seen him yet at this game, but
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like the Mauler might have died. because I don't see it anywhere. It could be the Mauler, I guess.
Yeah. All right, so we just got an update on time from that Denny 1, Morvana 1 matchup. The Crix player, Klaus, has 1 minute remaining on his clock. So it's very likely that Klaus will clock in that game.
I think that's Brett's primary
Primary
strategy.
win condition? Yeah, very well could be.
I'm just going to keep doing my thing, and you're eventually going to run out of time scratching your head.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What do I do against this?
Okay. So what do we know Doomy's ahead on scenario here. It looks like Morvana's moved out to that flag, set up camp out there. Is she contesting the zone very well right now?
Morvana is dominating the flag.
Right. So that's where her points have come from, I assume.
Yeah.
Because she definitely has a wall. Like, there's no troll models over there.
No, I don't really see
anything. And I don't
in
really
the
know that
zone.
Doomy can get over there, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly what all these models in the zone are.
So this is Janissa.
Okay, Janissa is to the left of the Earthborn and what we presume is Mulg.
I'm almost sure it's Mulg. He's got Fortune on him. I mean, I guess Fortune could go on
Could
a
go on a
Mauler.
Mauler.
So
Yeah.
It's got to be Mulg, though.
Yeah.
So that's, Janissa, Mulg, Earthborn. That's a Rune Shaper to the left.
Okay.
And there's just a single Gallows Grove, it looks like.
Okay, so the Gallows Grove is contesting right now. And just to confirm, it's currently 3-1 in favor of Doom Shaper. Okay. So this is actually a pretty tight game.
Whoever controls the zone, I think, will win.
Yeah.
Will definitely win because they're going to be scoring
2 to 1. Yeah, absolutely. And that is Doomy just behind the Earthborn, right? Like to the bottom?
I think so.
Otherwise, where's Doomy?
I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be Doomy,
Yeah.
I guess.
So that's actually, I presume, has Morvana, do we know has Morvana feeded in this game? Okay. I'm assuming that she's feeded. If she hasn't feeded, it's probably really bad for Doomy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he just assassinated Doom Shaper.
Okay, so that's what the tree was there for.
Yep.
All right. I wasn't sure what he was rolling there. But he just Sunder Spirited him.
Yep, and then the tree was within range of denying a tough check.
All right.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that is game to Tommy and Belgium. Yay, Belgium.
Yep. Sorry, we kind of missed what was going on.
Yeah, it was a little difficult to untangle. I apologize, guys.
When we tune into a new table, we kind of have to take a little bit to reacquaint ourselves with what's happening.
Yeah.
And sometimes and then before we can pipe the audio in from the table, we can.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to go back over to
table 5, where I assume Klaus is trying very hard not to clock himself.
Well, yeah. So after Brett ships the clock over, we're going to have it at most a minute.
A minute, yeah. Yeah.
But it's so tough. I mean, this is one of the problems with Death Clock. But I mean, in this situation, I know how he feels. I empathize with him. You know, if you get into that situation where you've never seen you're playing in a list situation where you kind of you're going up against a strategy that you're unfamiliar with or that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
That's really vexing you. And
yeah.
Your
and
clock just dwindles away while
you think about it. Yeah. And yes, I said yay, Belgium. Yay. Yay.
I do think this is actually how I saw this game
playing out
at the beginning. Remember, I thought because his other option was
Scar,
right?
Yeah, we thought he should pick Scar if he understood or had played against
just because she's going to deny so much of what this list does.
Yeah,
being that it's almost entirely shooting based.
Right, exactly. And our thought was maybe he had some play with Denegris Feet and the RFP Pirates, the Devil's Shadow Mutineers, but obviously that did not come to pass in this game. That Witch-Dock Croc is a real thorn in the side.
Yep, yeah. Witch-Dock Croc. Such a good addition. So
all right,
clock
is
shipped over, so we're going to see some kind of Hail Mary, I think,
some kind of Hail Mary assassination has got to be. All right, so he's cast a Scourge.
Yep. So it looks like the Negra charged Getterix, and she's casting Scourge on him.
Yeah.
Or she didn't charge him, but she was nearby.
Nearby, yeah.
Couldn't drift off of him, so knocked him down. He's just going for points at this point.
I guess he must just be going for points.
Yeah.
And I can't actually even see where Morvana is, but I assume she's behind all the clouds in the trench.
Yeah.
So it's not like
I'm pretty sure that's her right there.
Yeah, I
in the
can't.
middle.
Actually, even having 1 minute Hail Mary assassination was a virtual impossibility here,
Right.
unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is going to clinch it for.
Yeah.
This is going to clinch it for Team
That'll
England.
clinch it for Team England as Klaus clocks himself.
Your hopes and dreams all just
Tragic.
frittered
All
away.
right. All right, we'll go to table 4. This is, again, Dirk with Butcher 2 versus Paul with Gaspy 2. Very, very late game state here.
What is this? This is like a purge going on.
I think that must have been a purge, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And he,
Yeah. So I'm looking for Gaspy. Oh, he's on the hill.
there's
he's
not
moved-
a lot of cricks left. Wow.
There is not a lot of cricks left. There is Gaspy and whatever that model by the objective is.
I think that's a
that's
Doom
it.
Reaver.
If that's a Doom Reaver, I think it's just Gaspy. I think there's 5 minutes remaining on each clock.
Well, if that's the case, then I think this is clearly going to be a Doom Shaper, or I'm sorry,
A Butcher victory. Which would cause us to be a 3-2 split.
That's pretty good,
So, props to Team Belgium.
especially given that the Jamie P assassination was
a
pretty legit assassination.
Really legit. Like, this could have gone either way, actually.
So this is the second round in a row that the English team has had a pretty close call.
Yeah, because last round they won 3-2, right?
they had
and
a
there was
pretty close call against
kind of
Russia.
a close call assassination against Russia last round. Yeah.
So England having a pretty rough day, but still managed
But
to.
still managing to get
Yep,
to
and
get by.
That's all that matters.
Right. Absolutely.
Everyone wants to 5-0 every round, but it's just, if you don't, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All that matters
All
is
that matters
you win.
is that you win. Yeah. Squeak that 3-2 through.
And here he's charging the objective just to start the point train
Yeah,
rolling.
exactly.
So he's going to get, 2 points, and then
Yeah.
Every
Maybe
turn from
3
here
if-
on,
You
yeah.
might move Butcher to the flag. To
right,
get 3.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't
You think
I
that's
would
still
do
too?
that.
This
I
think
mean,
that's too dangerous?
I assume Asphyxia still has his feet.
I guarantee Asphyxia still has his
Yeah,
feet. There's no way he
so
doesn't.
I
Yeah.
don't-
I don't.
I-
I think in this match, Asphyxia specifically saves the feet for the assassination.
I don't
right?
think you move Butcher to a flag or a zone until it causes you to win.
Okay, that's fair.
But if he does, then that's a mistake.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so we'll see what happens. It looks like getting some attacks on Asphyxius here. So 6 damage on nearly full camp Asphyxius.
with still 2 or 3 more charges to go.
Well, probably not charges.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
I think they're measuring rough terrain, make sure he can walk in there.
Just close in, boys. Close
Yeah.
in.
You just gotta like, Dirk's just like looking around the table towards the edge. Where are all my Doom Reavers at?
Yup.
Yeah, I think he played this game really well. I was really impressed.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
This would be a fun one to watch the
Yeah.
whole duration of.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there's the concession.
Yep.
So Dirk would have won on points, but wins, Paul concedes via concession.
Because I think of a scenario inevitability.
Right. And so the final match total is 3-2 in favor of England. All right.
Yep. So that was the round 2 of the WTC 2015. We just saw England Lions versus Belgian Blonde, and that was a very close series with a 3-2 victory in favor of England, with at least one of the games
Coming down to a very very tight assassination.
Very narrow assassination failure, actually.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was great. That was a great series to watch. We will have round 3 coming up shortly. There's going to be no break in between rounds, and the clocks are definitely running down on time. So we'll have that probably within the half hour, I would assume.
Probably start talking about selection at least within the half hour.
Yep. Yep. So again, you can follow all of the action on WMH-WTC.com. Also, make sure you check out Muse on Minis on Facebook and enter the Crucible on Facebook. I haven't been posting as many updates to Twitter as I probably should, but go ahead and follow us on Twitter as well, Muse on Minis, and what's the Crucible Twitter? ETC Vidcast on Twitter. So, yep, we will see you guys again in a short amount of time. So
Yeah. Stay with us.
stay with us.
Yeah.